So here I am in my 2026 Model Y Performance. Yes, it's a 2026 as indicated by the VIN number. 10th digit of the VIN tells you the year, the year of the car. And this is a 2026. Anyhow, I am getting ready to head to Shreveport, Louisiana today. So I've reset the trip meter. I've got to run some errands. I've got to meet somebody here in Roanoke, Virginia. Then I've got another meeting at my office where I'll probably top the car up. I charged it here at the hotel to 90%. It's sitting at 88%, indicating 286 miles. I will more than likely top it to 100% at my office, and then I'm going to try to get on the road by noon. It is 8:40 a.m. Today I'll be driving to Birmingham, Alabama and staying. That's probably 8.5 hours of driving and charging, so I'm going to try to hit some EVgo chargers along the way. This is going to be an awesome road trip across the country, all the way from Roanoke, Virginia to Shreveport, Louisiana, so follow along. More updates to follow, but I'm going to start the trip here because this is where I'm starting this morning, even though some of this will be just local around town stuff, and then I'm going to get out on the highway, and we'll see what kind of efficiency we can get. Starting out, I've had this vehicle 3 months. I have 7,720 miles on it, 261 watt-hours per mile. Much more efficient than my previous Model Y by about 10%, and I'm very, very happy with it overall. This hotel I'm staying at is the Hotel Salem East. It's a Hampton Inn Salem East. There's an F-150 Lightning. There are 3 level 2 chargers here. I like this hotel a lot. It's a good location, plenty of charging, and let me go ahead and hit the road. I'll be back with you here in a bit. Okay, I just plugged my route in. I'm going to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm not going to drive it straight through because if I did, I would get there at 5 a.m. I'm leaving here at 12:14 p.m., 91 degrees. You'll see I've already driven 9.6 miles, 206 watt-hours per mile. So first stop, it's wanting me to stop in Bristol, Tennessee. I'm actually going to add an EVgo charger. Let's see if this comes up. Offline address entry. So there's the one in White Pines. Let's click this and see if we can see some other locations. Fort Chiswell. That's the first stop. I'm kind of rushing. I haven't had lunch, haven't had any breakfast. I've been busy all morning, so I'm just going to stop at Fort Chiswell real quick, probably do a little splash and grab something, but I'll update as we go. Let's get on the road and go from there. Tonight I'll be staying in Birmingham, Alabama. I will update that address here shortly. This is going to be a great road trip, by the way. Follow along. So I checked. There's an EVgo in White Pine, Tennessee. I'm going to try to stretch it to there. I may need to stop sooner. I've been in meetings all day. Like I said, I have not had a chance to eat anything. That's 3:33 p.m., but I need to get down the road. I've got to do about 8 hours plus of driving, so we'll see how it goes. It looks like I can make it there with 10%, 221 miles away. Should be fine, but I am climbing a good bit of elevation, and it's 87 degrees. The car is cooled down. I did charge to 100%. It's showing 322 miles. It was showing 324, which is 3 miles lower than the original rated EPA range. So when I got the car, it showed 327. So I'm seeing a little bit of battery degradation now. 3 months in, 7,700 miles. A lot of charging cycles and etc. Not disappointed at all, not worried about it, not a big deal. But let's get on the road, get headed north, and kind of go from there. Loving another road trip in the Tesla Model Y Juniper. Smooth, quiet, and comfortable, this car. And definitely one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. And it just truly, truly does a great job. So we will jump up here on the highway in just a second, and I'm going to take a look at my final destination here as I'm stopping at this light. I'll be back with you shortly. So I removed charging stops just to see if I stopped at the EVgo and then went right to the Hampton. Shows I'll arrive at 8:13 p.m. I'm guessing I'm going to get there around 9 or so tonight, which is totally fine. It is quite a haul there. I'm not sure on the exact mileage. We'll figure that out here as we go. You can see I've got the miles started down there, but I'm going to guess 600 miles, 550, 600 miles to Birmingham, something like that, maybe 500 miles. Either way, we're going to make it there tonight, and we're going to enjoy the ride here in this Model Y Juniper. And yeah, so I'm headed up here to get on 81 South, and I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and stop at that first one, Fort Chiswell EVgo, because I need to go ahead and get a snack, something. I can just throw a little bit of juice in. I don't really need to charge, but I think I should just stop there and get myself situated for this road trip. I kind of rushed out of my office and haven't had time really to do anything. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, we are riding along with traffic. We have driven for 27 minutes. You'll see the current drive, by the way, 27 minutes, 28 miles, 330 watt-hours per mile, all gaining elevation. It is showing we're going to arrive to White Pine, Tennessee. I went ahead and left that one in there. 193 miles away with 12%. I think I can make it there and just wait until 3:30, and then I'm sure there will be something at that Pilot Flying J, and I can grab some food at that time. I'd like to get as much range, out of the first charge as possible. I'm sure I can go a little further. There is a Sevierville right after that. There is a Buc-ee's with tons of chargers. I really don't want to go to a Buc-ee's. It'll add a lot of time. If for some reason there's problems at the EVgo, that would probably be my bailout. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the drive. This beautiful part of Virginia as I head into Tennessee. I mean, it's just spectacular down through here. What a view. And yeah, we're going to ride along. Car's doing great. Enjoying the drive. I've got full self-driving on, so once again, the car is driving me. And we're just going to go stop by stop at this point. Hopefully only make a few stops today, get to the hotel here in about 8 hours from now, I would guess. And yeah, EVgo, here we come. We'll be there in about 2 hours and 46 minutes, 192 miles. Now it's just showing I'll arrive with 13%. So that's good, plenty of buffer. And let's ride along and enjoy this. I'll be back with you here shortly. All I can say is, wow, this thing is so ridiculously good. I haven't driven at all. The car's driving me. I'm just sitting here relaxing as I ride up the highway. 308 watt-hours per mile. Again, not great efficiency starting out, but a lot of elevation change. And, now it's showing 17% upon arrival. This thing's outrageously good. So I'll be there in about 171 miles, 2 hours and 27 minutes. It is 86 degrees out, by the way, 1:02 p.m. We're just riding through the woods here in Virginia. We'll be to the Tennessee line here before long. And, man, I love road tripping in this Model Y. It's one of the best. I'm soon going to cross the 7,800 mile mark, and today we'll cross over 8,000 miles in 3 months. Pretty impressive. So, great driving day, by the way. This is great. This is what you want. Not a ton of wind, clear skies, smooth sailing, decent weather. It's hot, but not outrageously hot. 86 is manageable. And this car is just smooth, quiet, and comfortable. So I'm going to get to the charger around 3:30, and we'll get juiced up. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I've got 17% upon arrival. I won't have to be there long. Once we get there, we'll figure out the next stop, if there's another EVgo along the route, or if I'm going to hit a Tesla charger. There's just tons and tons and tons of Tesla chargers. The reason I'm stopping at EVgo is, as many of you know, I have a bunch of free charging with EVgo. But look at all those little red dots on the map route. I've got tons of options with Tesla. So it's chargers just literally everywhere. But we're going to enjoy the EVgo because I have one more year of free EVgo charging. I got it when I purchased my Cadillac Lyric, which I've since gotten rid of. Long story, terrible EV. And, I'm using up those kilowatt hours that are just free. So I'm going to go there, plug in, juice up for a bit, and ride along to the next one. And I'll use EVgo the entire trip if I'm able to. There are a ton of Pilot Flying J's on this eastern half of the U.S. They've done a great job, and I'm very happy overall with those chargers. I've had really, really great experiences over the last year, and I'm going to continue to use them. Frankly, I may use them after that. I hope they adjust to pricing. They're very high priced. If you do not have free charging, these are like 60 cents per kilowatt hour. And Tesla's almost half that. Tesla's usually 30 to 40 cents. So, yeah, they're ridiculously high priced, but they work well for me right now. and we'll kind of see what happens with future pricing. The problem is, if you buy the EVgo discount plan, they do not work at the Pilot Flying J chargers because they're on the extended EVgo network, and their pricing discount doesn't apply, which kind of sucks. So we'll see how it pans out, but I like them for now, and I'm going to enjoy them through like next July. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll be back with you here in just a bit. We're just going to keep riding along and let the car do the job. Check out this view. Pretty cool. Okay, I'll be back with you in a little bit with another update. So one of the things that really helps with efficiency is the tires. These are the very efficient tires on the new Model Y Juniper, and they're the factory tires and wheels. I think that a 19-inch, the 20-inch are the silver ones. Anyway, my point is, I always ride a little higher tire pressure than recommended. So my tire, the recommended cold tire pressure is 42. I set it to 44 to 45. Now, in warm weather and as you're driving, the tire pressure will increase. So if you take a look, right now mine are all at 49, but that's 3 or 4 pounds higher than normal. That really helps with efficiency. So you'll see, even with elevation and everything else, I'm at 288 watt-hours per mile for the last 90 miles I've been driving. I've got 130 miles to go. Look at this. I'm going to arrive with 21%. The car will figure out as I drive and adjust the efficiency, but you'll notice when I was starting out, it was starting out at 8, 9, 10% estimated, and that's improved all the way to 21%. I'm running at highway speeds with traffic, and the car's doing the driving, of course, as I'm kind of kicked back, relaxing, and just managing. But yeah, this thing is so good. I love the Juniper because I can really get some great real-world driving range on this thing. And always I wish things would charge faster and have even more range. But, this is about as far as I can make it. I want to stop, stretch my legs, and relax. So, 2 hours can't come soon enough for me at this point. I've already been driving an hour and 20 minutes, and I've got another hour and 52 minutes to go. That's a long leg for me. That's a 3+ hours starting out. I like to do the 1.5 to 2 hour pops. So that's what we'll probably do after this. But I should get good charging speeds, arriving at around 20%. EVgo chargers will not charge the Teslas up to 250 kilowatt because of the amperage on the chargers. Tesla chargers are 400 volt, but they run at very, very high amperage, which allows you to get 250 kilowatts. These other outside chargers generally do not. I've yet to use the Iona chargers. Iona seems amazing. I want to check out one of their stops. I don't have time to mess around with that stuff this trip, but if they had an app and they were en route, I would definitely use them. They seem very reasonably priced. They seem amazing. Hopefully they come out with an app soon and I can see where all their stops are easily and I can plug them in. But I'm going to focus on the EVgo because of the free charging. And the most I've ever seen is a little over 200 kilowatts. I think around 211, 212 if I recall. Or maybe right around 200 is the max that it can charge these Model Ys. I'm sure somebody watching knows the exact particulars, but I know enough to know, don't expect 250 kilowatts. But these chargers ramp up super fast. They work well typically. I like them a lot, and I think EVgo's done a really nice job in coordination with Pilot Flying J to deploy these chargers. Hopefully they continue to maintain them. I've had pretty good success. I've had a few broken handles. I've had one out of service, or maybe a couple that I've seen handles out of service. Overall, though, they've worked very, very well. So they seem to be keeping them up. EVgo seems to be doing a pretty nice job. With that being said, the up-and-comer with chargers are Alpitronics. These Alpitronics units are outrageously good. I've used them with the Cybertruck on the Mercedes network. They're really, really good. It was expensive when I used it, but I'm anxious to try the Iona sites, which are all Alpitronic. I think they're the 400 units, which are split 200 kilowatt, and really, really amazing chargers. So anyway, enough about all that. We've got an hour and 50 minutes to go, arriving with around 21%. It's 87 degrees out. It's a warm one today. 1:38 p.m. and as I mentioned, Efficiency's really improved. I'm around 285 watt-hours per mile, which for this car isn't the best, but this elevation change is causing that. I expect it to improve as I get further along, and it should drop around 270 watt-hours per mile, high 260s, low 270s, I would expect, until I get to this first stop in just under 2 hours. So still driving through the woods here. We are in, you can see, rural Retreat, Virginia, and getting closer to the Tennessee line. So I'll be back with you in just a little while. Okay, and here we go. Riding along, 90 degrees out. I'm going to ride with 25% on battery. Isn't that remarkable? So I'm going, 220 miles, whatever, and I'm still going to have 25% left. So that's great. And that's what it should be, frankly. But my consumption is amazing now. 259 watt-hours per mile, 155 miles, 2 hours and 12 minutes of driving. I've got less than an hour left. Looking forward to getting there, stretching my legs, using the restroom, and grabbing some food. So, arriving around 3:26 p.m. Full self-driving has not been shut off yet. It's been driving the entire way. Zero disengagements, zero critical events. It's just fantastic. So I will update you further here as we ride, but so far it's been a wonderful trip. This has pretty much been my view, as you've seen every time I've been recording. Just a fantastic view. I am in Tennessee. You'll see I'm in Bluntville, Tennessee now, and just riding along. So we're on 81 South. It looks like we'll be jumping off at exit 4 for White Pine, Tennessee. Now, I could stretch it and go ahead and probably even get past that Buc-ee's, maybe even into Knoxville or whatever. Now, there is a Electrify America across from that Buc-ee's in Sevierville, and there's other options, but I'm going to stop here, enjoy my free juice, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'll keep you updated. So yeah, it just keeps getting better. We're only 37 minutes out, 41 miles, 24% estimated upon arrival, but 256 watt-hours per mile. This thing is unbelievably good. 180 miles driven so far, and been driving for 2.5 hours. It is 91 degrees out. It's warming up. Take a look at the drive efficiency. I thought you may enjoy seeing that. It's showing we've saved almost 13% driving. Now, you saw we've been driving at highway speeds, up and down mountains, whatever else. It's simply the efficiency of this Model Y and the wheel and tire combo. Massive, massive difference. And you'll see staying below 70 would have saved 4.8. And 74 miles per hour is the normal speed, and I would have saved about 1.1% if I slow down by 5 miles per hour. Great guidance, really, from Tesla, but right now I'm running 12.5% better, 12.5% better than its estimate, which is really, really good. So I like that, and I'm going to just continue to kick back, relax, and enjoy the drive as my Model Y drives me to the destination, which is the EVgo charger in White Pine. I just checked the EVgo app right before filming this clip, and it shows all 4 stalls are available and working. There are 2 350 kilowatts chargers with split 175 charging. So if another car's plugged in, it splits it. But yeah, right now they all show available. Hopefully I'll get there and that'll be the case, and we'll plug in, juice up, and be about our way. Not sure where we're going next, but I'll figure that out once I get there. Obviously, you can just simply use the Tesla route planning and just stop at Tesla superchargers. You know the reason why I'm going to EVgo, and that's why I'm headed that way. So I'll be there momentarily, and I'll be back with you. This is interesting, riding along at highway speeds. Got a couple of trikes. Don't see those all the time, that's for sure. Tennessee plates, it's a nice looking color. Anyway, pretty interesting. So we're still going to ride with around 24%. Been riding along at these highway speeds. Not a lot has changed, although it has warmed up. It is 93 degrees out, so I'm going to bump the air up one notch. It's making it a little chilly in here, trying to keep up. Anyway, love the cooled seats. Those work great. I'm at 252 watt-hours per mile. We're now almost 200 miles into this drive. Got roughly 20 miles to go, so we'll be there momentarily. I just wanted to share those trikes with you. Thought that was pretty interesting. Continue to be on the same stretch of highway. Pretty plain, pretty basic. Riding through the wilderness the whole way along here. It's pretty much like this until you get over closer to Knoxville. And then it starts opening up. But yeah, beautiful country we live in here in the United States, those that live here. And there are quite a few foreign viewers, and I welcome you and hope you enjoy this content as well. Anyway, look at the sky today. Beautiful. FSD is continuing to do its job. Happy with that. And this has been a good ride so far today. Zero complaints here in the Model Y. It's been a long day. I've been in meetings. I had conference calls early this morning. Then you saw what time I departed the hotel. Then I had meetings, more meetings. Been on conference calls all afternoon. So it's nice to have the car driving me. I have no fatigue from driving. And I can literally just focus on the things I need to while the car drives me, and we get over to this charger. I will figure out the rest of my route plan there. I've got to do a few things there. I got to grab food. I'll probably overcharge because I've got 3 or 4 things I need to take care of while I'm there. So we'll see how it all pans out. I'm going to be rushing because the car will be ready way before I will, and to just get going and get back on the road. So more details to follow. Okay, so here we go. We are only 1.5 miles out, so I am going to go ahead and take over. FSD could get me there, no question, but I haven't driven all day, so I am going to take over and finalize the drive. You'll see it says, what happened? It wants to know so that it can improve, and you can click that microphone button on the steering wheel to report the issue if you disengage FSD for a negative reason. Preconditioning for fast charging just popped up on the screen, so it does precondition to third-party chargers. Obviously, it's hot out, it's 93 degrees. It didn't need to do that way back prior to just a few minutes out. So we should see optimum speeds at this state of charge. We're going to arrive with around 24%. We've got 4 miles per kilowatt hour. We're at 250 watt-hours per mile, which is remarkably good. So we're getting off here, crossing over the street. Been to this one quite a few times. If you've watched my videos recently, you watched me charge at this just a few days ago as I was headed up to Virginia. I was leaning on that seat, it looked like. So anyhow, here we are getting off the exit. Just going to cross over the highway right there to that Pilot. Yeah, this is a good one. I like this stop. It's clean. It's I think it may be a newer one or remodeled. The charging's at a good location off to the left side and backed against some grass. There's trash cans, squeegees. At least there were the last time I was there. Yeah, I think it's a pretty darn good spot. And you'll see it here in just a second. And the chargers are up here. They're always blue. You'll see them up here to the left. Let's go ahead and kick on our left turn signal. We'll go in this entry right here. Just gonna go in and go directly to the left. Right over here are the chargers. We will back into this one. And we've got to back in on the right side because our charging port is on the driver's back left. I don't want to go too far back because I've got to get into the back of the car, get a couple things out. That's about perfect. Okay, preconditioning still going on. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my CCS adapter, which is right here in the door. And I'm gonna get plugged in. I'll be right back with you. Okay, payment is authorized, just that quick. Connecting to the vehicle. Just heard some things clicking. It'll say matching voltage in just a second. You'll see the flashing blue indicating that it's communicating. Let me just show you this charger layout. It's a pretty good location. Right here at this Pilot. And it sounds like we're charging, and we are. So let's see what kind of speeds we get. These things ramp up really quick. So at 24%, we're up to 198 kilowatts. So great job EVgo, great job Tesla. Let's let it rip. It'll, over the course of the first minute, it kind of levels out. But we should see right at 200 kilowatts at this state of charge, and there we are. So, okay, we're good to go. I'll be back with you shortly. Let me figure things out. Okay, over here are the chargers. I still have a few things to do. The car's probably 60+% at this point, but we'll see when I get over here. But yeah, I had to get some stuff out of the frunk. I've got to get a cold water or two yet. I got to put some clothes in my suitcase. I had to change. I placed an order there at that McDonald's. So yeah, quite a few things going on here. I've been here probably already a little while. Been here 15 minutes already, 85 kilowatts still, 64%. Taking on 32 kilowatt hours of energy. I'll be back with you here as I'm getting out of here. I still have to clean the windshield. I got quite a few things to take care of. And I'll be back momentarily. Take a look at my TL yard, TLYARD. Okay, I just finished up and I looked at our state of charge and what makes sense. And I think what makes sense is going to this EVgo charger in Rising Fawn, Georgia. And there's bailout options before. There's not much after. Afterwards is all the way down to Steele, Alabama. So we're gonna have to check that one as we go. But yeah, I think that's the path. I should be able to make that as far as me personally. That's a 3-hour ride. Let's go ahead and get on the road and check it out. I'm gonna remove out my final destination and just see if we can make that one. Obviously overcharged, already up to 79%, pulling about 58 kilowatts. Getting there with 22%, it looks like. Let's go ahead and check out our stats. By the way, on the current drive, 221 miles, 249 watt-hours per mile, 4 miles per kilowatt hour. And yeah, let's get back on the road for another 3-hour trek. And let's take a look here. Been here for 25 minutes, way too long, but that's how long it took me. Not the car's fault or the charger's fault. And we are going to get disconnected and get on the road. I'll be back with you here in a second. Okay, we are riding along. 4:14 p.m., 96 degrees out. It's warm. Definitely warm. And we are 28 miles into the drive, 23 minutes, 253 watt-hours per mile. So overall, 259 miles on the trip, 248 watt-hours per mile. We're running at 4 miles a kilowatt hour, so this is incredible. Showing we're going to get to this EVgo with 22%. We've got 145 miles to go, 2 hours and 41 minutes. We'll see if we can make it to that one. As far as meeting me personally, my bladder. But I think I should be fine. That last stop was a good stop, all free electrons. So I should, you know, if I can make it to this one, then I'll just have one more stop and I'll be there. I was just kind of looking, this one's right off of the interstate, great location, and that's the current plan. We'll kind of see how it goes, and I will keep you updated. I will be back with you here in just a little bit. Hopefully we can get through Knoxville before we hit too much traffic. And we're coming up on Knoxville now. Thanks for following along. I'll be back shortly. So we're coming through the Knoxville area, and Tesla Nav is routing us off an exit around traffic and then back on. We're headed towards 75 South. So far, it's done a great job. It's been driving me this entire 37 minutes, 43 miles, 241 watt-hours per mile. Showing I'm going to arrive at 6:50 p.m. and 132 miles with 21%. Cooling down a little bit, 94 degrees out. I wanted to get in the left lane to pass some cars, but oh, I see it. Once the left turning lane. And it's going to do it, because check it out. FSD is crazy. It'll probably do it right up here. And here we go. Wow. Switch stayed to the left. Interesting. I thought it was going to take the exit, but it chose not to. Hey, it made the right call. Things are moving up through here. It's just kind of handling things. It really takes a lot of, imagine, riding along like this and just letting it take the pressure off as you're driving through a city. Pretty cool. That's Paper Mill Drive over there. I've stayed at that Hilton Garden a bunch. Had meetings all up along there over the years. And I believe this next exit is kind of the same thing. It's just riding around some traffic. So, you know what? I'm going to let it do its thing. And we're going to ride along. Let's zoom out and take a look here. Yeah, imagine there's a bunch of traffic up here. It's that time of day. It's 4:30 p.m. and we're coming on around the city. So hopefully we can get through it and get riding south. So far, I think we're making decent progress. And we've already driven from roughly 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are still on Eastern Time. It's now 4:30, so we've been driving roughly 4 hours. We've driven 277 miles. I think that's pretty good. And you remember, we had a 25-minute stop. That 25-minute stop had to take care of a lot of things. So I did. I thought I had cold water in my fridge, in my TL Yard fridge in the back, and I did not. So I had to stock that, and I had to get back on the road pretty quickly. So did the best I could and got out of there. Obviously, I overcharged, but really it didn't matter. It's not like the car filled to 100%. But on road trips in an electric vehicle, you don't want to really fill beyond 60% unless you have to. They slow down a good bit, they taper off, and you just want to do a quick splash and dash and drive another couple hours. In this case, I charged enough to drive 3 more hours, which is plenty. So we will see what happens, and I'll be back with you and continue reporting as we ride along. Look at the traffic in the other direction, going eastbound. That's crazy. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we continue to ride around it, along. It did route around some traffic, which is really impressive. FSD has done a remarkable job in traffic. This is, I guess, one of the first major traffic congestions that I've been in with full self-driving, the newer version, and it is just remarkably good. Really, really takes out any stress, pressure, whatever of this type of traffic jam. And we'll be through it soon, but I've gained 3 minutes on the ETA, which I'm pleased with. It got off an exit, rode along for about a mile on the access road, got back on, merged through lanes, switched over to the left lane, which was moving faster. Just remarkably good. 230 watt-hours per mile. Wow, like close to 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. And we've been driving for 49 minutes, 53 miles. I only have 123 miles to go, just about 2 hours. So pretty pleased overall with the progress we're making today. Hoping to be to the hotel by 9 p.m., 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. I believe I'll be switching to Central Time, so that'll be, instead of 8:30 or 9, it'll be 7:30 or 8. But yeah, FSD's doing its thing. You can see it's very congested through here, but should start opening up. So just ride along with me for a minute. Here's one of the superchargers. That's the one in Knoxville, 150 kilowatt. That's one of the older V2s. Right here by Turkey Creek. I like Tennessee a lot. I think it's a beautiful state. Great weather overall. Good people. Tennessee's a good one for sure. Some pretty nice cities. There's my view. Wouldn't you like to be riding along, just letting the car drive you through traffic like this as you drive across the country? Certainly a game changer. Honestly, I'm debating picking up another EV here in the next couple of months, and I've looked at the Ford Lightning, Lucid Gravity. I know they're not fully shipping those yet, but I've considered it. Considered a used Rivian R1S. We already have an R1T. I've got a Cybertruck. The problem is, any vehicle I won't buy, I want FSD. So I almost feel like if I'm going to get something else, I need to watch whatever deals Tesla comes out with. And if they come out with unlimited supercharging, right now there's 18 months supercharging if you pay cash for a Model 3. I really don't want a Model 3, but I love the idea of free supercharging. We'll see what pops out here. I'm going to keep an eye on things, and I'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'm going to ride along and enjoy the drive here in this Model Y Juniper. Showing 97 degrees. I was sitting pretty well stopped, and all the heat coming up off the pavement, that could have caused the, to be a little bit artificially high, but we'll see. We are just now over 8,000 miles. Can you believe 8,000 miles in 3 months? 260 watt hours per mile in 8,000 miles. Till I get home, I'll be close to 9,000 miles. Shreveport, Bossier City is not home. Dallas-Fort Worth area is, but I'm headed tonight, like I said, to Birmingham, Alabama. I'll be staying. I don't remember what hotel. It's a Hampton or a Hilton or something. And then tomorrow night, I'll be staying at the Horseshoe by Caesars in Bossier City, Louisiana. So, yeah. 120 miles to go, 6:46 p.m. ETA. 24% estimated state of charge upon arrival, and we're just going to keep riding along. I'll be back with you here shortly. Check out that efficiency. Wow. Okay, be back soon. Okay, we're making great progress. Unfortunately, we're also going to hit Cincinnati at the wrong time. So right now it's showing 60 miles, which should take an hour or less on these interstates, and it's showing it's going to take an hour and 13 minutes. Hopefully that will improve, because we're roughly 30 minutes out. It's 5:30 p.m. Chattanooga is on Eastern time, so we'll hit there close to 6. And if you look here at this charger, we're right around Cleveland, Tennessee now. So we're right on the outskirts of Cincinnati. We're headed to like Flowery Branch, Georgia, or something like that, to this charger, to this EV Go. And gonna get there, it shows, with 24%, 59 miles, 6:46 p.m. Unfortunately, current drive, we've been driving for an hour and 42 minutes, 237 watt hours per mile. Overall in the Shreveport trip, believe it or not, we've done almost 350 miles today in 5 hours. Pretty good. 244 watt hours per mile, so more than 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Loving the Juniper. I've been in FSD all day. Pretty much almost every mile we've driven today has been full self-driving, except for when I chose to take over at the last stop, and I may do the same thing at this one. Let's just keep our fingers crossed, get through this traffic, and get to the charger. That is the goal. We'll see how it works out, and then I believe once we get to this charger, we're maybe 100 miles from the hotel. So potentially one more quick stop, throw some electrons on. We'll see. If I stop long enough at this EV Go, top up, and can arrive to the hotel with 30+%, I'll be fine. I would like to be able to run Sentry mode tonight, and I can't be sure for 100% that the chargers at the hotel will be available. That's always kind of a gamble, and I'm getting there later. If I was getting there at 4 or 5 p.m., they're almost always available. When you get there later at night, they could be iced with a gas car. They could be in use with electric vehicles. So we'll kind of see what happens, and I'll check as we get closer to see if there are chargers right near the hotel, DC fast chargers as a backup option. So right now the mission is to get to the EVgo fast charger, 2 350 kilowatt split 175s here in Georgia. So making great progress so far today. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this traffic. So more details to follow. Okay, we're getting very close here to Chattanooga. Unfortunately, no improvement. Looks like we're going to hit some delays. Hopefully traffic's dissipating some. I mean, it is 5:45, 5:47 now. 92 degrees out. It's cooling down as the sun's starting to go down some. We are still on Eastern time. We'll be crossing into Central time as we head into Alabama. And we've got 41 miles, 57 minutes to go. Should arrive around 23% at 6:44 p.m. Remarkably good efficiency today, as you've seen. 240 watt-hours per mile for the last 135 miles. This vehicle has just continued to improve efficiency as I put more miles on. I think the tires broke in, of course, after maybe 1,000 miles or within 1,000 miles. Past that, no idea, but probably just weather and environmental, but it's been absolutely remarkably good. And I'm looking forward to getting there. I believe this will be my last charging stop, as I mentioned. We're going to get there, juice up, and then figure it out. I'm also going to figure out, assuming I get to the hotel between 8:30 and 9 Eastern, 7:30 and 8 Central, I'm going to figure out what time I'm going to leave in the morning and what time I need to get to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe. Shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. I appreciate all feedback. And if you need to buy any Tesla accessories, Rivian accessories, check the description of my video. Also, there's a link in there. If you're going to buy a Tesla or buy a Rivian, feel free to use my referral link if you do not have one from a friend or a family member. Again, thanks for following along, and I'll be back with you here shortly as we're ripping through Chattanooga on FSD. So I'll be back with you momentarily. And here we go. This is the traffic we have been waiting on. Hopefully it won't be too bad. We're showing at 6:46 p.m. Maybe 20 or so minutes in traffic, but many signs leading up to it saying warning, stop traffic ahead, heavy traffic, use caution, etc., etc. They've got lanes closed. Not sure why, but we are going to ride through it. That's all we can do. FSD's on. It'll do its thing. And we are sitting dead stopped at 0 miles per hour, which absolutely sucks. Anyway, this is the part of road tripping that can get tough when things like this happen on the interstates and on the highways, but it is what it is. It's part of it. Done 140 miles in 2 hours and 2 minutes, 233 watt-hours per mile. Total of 372 miles on this trip. And it's been good. I've got 35% left in the battery, estimated arriving with 23%. We'll see what happens. But we're just going to let FSD do its thing, guide us through this traffic, and I will keep you updated here as we go. Hopefully it won't be too bad. And we're getting on 24 West, and then we'll head south on 59 to this Pilot Flying J EVgo charger. Okay, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, so we got through the first traffic jam. Now we're following a previous generation Model Y through traffic here. And yeah, still showing 6:45. Looks like the brunt of this big slowdown is over the next 4 or 5 miles. And then once we get clear of that, it looks like smooth sailing all the way to the charger. So I'm really thinking once we get out here on 24, maybe 3 miles. But you can see traffic is pretty much just completely stopped or just barely moving. I mean, we're inching along right now at 10 miles an hour, but you'll see we'll probably come to a complete stop here. FSD is doing the entire thing. I'm not. And I'm glad, because this can be frustrating. So after getting up at the crack of dawn, being on conference calls, going to meetings, running errands, and then getting out of the office at 12:30, driving now for 5.5 hours, I'm actually fine. Good news is I'm only maybe less than 2 hours, or from right now, maybe 2.5 hours from the hotel. That's pretty easy. I'll be to this next charger hopefully in the next 45 minutes. I can stretch my legs, walk around, juice up, and I'll probably be there longer like I was last time, and get plenty of charge to get to the hotel without stopping. So that's more than likely the plan. Again, arriving around that same state of charge as last time, around the mid 20%. This car charges fairly well. I wish it would charge faster and hold its charging rate longer. I wish it would hold 200 kilowatts up to 80%. If it did, this would be a really, really great charging car. It shouldn't have taken 25 minutes to get up to close to 80%. I didn't need to charge that long, though. Let's be clear. There was an EVgo charger between this stop and our last stop, and I skipped it because I had overcharged. So I could have just done a quick 10-minute top-up onto the next charger. And there's so many Tesla chargers, so that would not have been my strategy. My normal stop is 10 to 15 minutes tops, and then I go on. But again, hey, I got free electrons, so that's worth something, right? That probably saved me $15, $10, whatever, versus a Tesla charger. But yeah, we're just driving around Chattanooga and trying to get through traffic. Right down there is downtown Chattanooga in the distance. And we're here on the outskirts, so thanks for following along. I'll be back with you here shortly. Well, we made it through the traffic. We're just kind of cruising along. I just shut FSD off because I haven't driven all day, and I'd like to drive this last less than 2 miles. It just popped up preconditioned battery. Got amazing efficiency today. Wow, 243 watt-hours per mile for 405 miles. This last leg, 175 miles, 237 watt-hours per mile. You can see this charger is right off the exit. I mean, this is fantastic. I didn't get a chance to check it. I've been on a conference call, just finished the call as I started this video. So hopefully we got charging stalls available. We'll see in just a minute, but we've got plenty of range afterwards. We got 23%. Shouldn't have to be here long, but let's get up here and get plugged in at this Pilot Flying J EVgo and see what kind of speeds we get. Once again, if all goes well, we should get around 200 kilowatts at 23%. It won't hold that for super long. We're not going to have to charge here for a very long time, probably 15 minutes, and then we'll be able to hit the road and get to the hotel. I do need to stretch my legs. I need to throw some trash away from lunch 3 hours ago, late lunch, and honestly, I need to use the restroom and just, like I said, stretch my legs, check my email, etc., etc. So let's get over here and check out. It looks like it's a Pilot. I kind of see it over there. We've got a bear right here. Let's check for traffic. Okay, we're good. Now we're going to turn left at this entrance. Here's the Pilot. Straight ahead, I see all the blue pylons indicating there's charging stations. No canopy, which is fine. Okay, got 2 chargers. Everything appears to be looking good. Let's just back into this one. EV charging, love it. We're getting backed in here. And that's about it. Let's go ahead and jump out. Grab our CCS adapter. Down there's your stats for this last leg. Actually improved even further to 235 watt hours per mile. Okay, let me get this plugged in and I'll be right back with you. Payment was just authorized. Immediately it clicks and connects. I can hear cable cooling running over here. I might have picked the wrong handle. It might be yeah, that cable's pretty hot. Well, that one's hot too. But they're sitting in the direct sun. There's no canopy. You can hear it clicking, matching voltage. It'll flip over in just a second and show us our charging speeds. Unfortunately, at this one, there are no trash cans or squeegees. There are over at the pumps. But we jumped right up to 198 kilowatts, so that's outstanding. We'll watch it for just a second. We should see 200. Usually takes a second or two. Okay, and there we go. I'll be back with you here shortly. We are charging. Okay, here we go. Walking back to the car. Not sure how long we were gone, but went ahead and grabbed a drink and a quick snack. Let's go ahead and check how long we've been going and what's going on. Okay, well, the screen doesn't want to wake up, so let's check in the car. We know we arrived around 6:44. And let's see what it says. Wonderful, it says charging stopped. So that's not great, so bear with me 1 second. We're going to unplug and replug to the other handle. Not a good job, EVgo. I didn't notice it because I was using the restroom and doing my thing. Unlock charging port. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Okay, we just plugged back in. I have no idea how much time I lost. I'll check the logs, but I've been here, it looks like 15 minutes at this point. And we're at 40-some%, but my guess is it stopped not long after, probably 10 minutes in. I probably lost several minutes, which is not probably a big deal. But let's see if it starts charging. Should start ramping up here any second. And there we go. Spinning right up to 126, 136. Okay, right around 130 kilowatts. So let me go ahead and check my next charging stop and I'll be right back with you. I'll also check when this thing stopped and what happened. Okay, I looked, the car charged for 7 minutes and sat for 6 minutes not charging. So that kind of sucks. Because I'd have a little bit more free juice, but I didn't notice it, so shame on me. It popped up on my phone, of course, and alerted me. Phone was in my pocket. I was waiting at the register to pay. It took several minutes because they had a problem with a fuel customer they were trying to figure out. So, hey, these things happen. No big deal. We're still charging at 102 kilowatts. We can arrive right now to the hotel with 16%. The problem is you get to the hotel, what if the chargers are clogged up? So let's see where there's a supercharger near the hotel, and check this out. The hotel is on Gadsden Highway, and there is a 16 stall 325 kilowatt charger. That's a new install. I've charged there before. It's a great stop, so I'm all set. I can take off. I'm going to go ahead and check my email, get myself situated, and then we're going to hit the road. We don't need to sit here any longer, but yeah, do I wish it would have charged a little more? Sure, that would have been free electrons. Not the end of the world, and we're ready to go. These things happen though, so it tells you keep an eye on your app, keep an eye on your charging. If you're at a Tesla charger, normally you just don't have to worry about it. These EVgo chargers have been very reliable for me, but I have had them stop, certainly more often than Tesla. And it's happened to me several times, and usually I catch it right away. This time I didn't. That's okay. It happened. It just locked up. We're still pulling some juice in, and this thing will juice up quickly. We're already up to 18% upon arrival. So let me go ahead and take care of what I need to, and I'll be back with you, and we'll hit the road. Okay, I just finished up, and we're going to hit the road. Shows we're going to arrive in an hour and a half, roughly, with 24%. So we've already driven 407 miles, got 109 more to go. Not a problem. 7:06 p.m. Let's hit the road. And by the way, we're still pulling 84 kilowatts at 64%, but it is time to go. I'll be back with you here in a minute. Let's hit the stop button. Actually, you know, there's another way to do it here. We can just hit stop charging and unlock charging port right there. That goes much quicker. And we come out unplug, and go. I'll be back shortly. You know, I knew better with that charging handle. I could hear the fan dripping, cable cooling was running, and it wasn't even plugged in. It faulted, probably a sensor fault or something with cable cooling, whatever. I should have just used the other handle when I heard that. I know better, and these things happen. Again, not the end of the world. Didn't slow me down at all. Matter of fact, I could have left without even plugging back in, but I was still figuring things out. So I plugged back in, got a few more free electrons, and now I'm on the road. So EVgo, thanks for all the free juice today. I'm guessing I probably got 60 some kilowatt hours for absolutely free, if not more. And now we just ride for 107 miles right on this highway and get there. So let's engage FSD and let's hit the road. Watch this thing accelerate and get up to speed and get in the correct lane and do what it needs to do to get me there. Go, go, FSD. Okay, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. This has been a fun one today. More info to follow. Okay, I just finished calls. I've been on the phone the entire time. Sorry about that, but it is time to give you an update. Let's scroll that. Because I was on the phone, it flips over to the audio, which I don't really listen to the radio or the audio in the car while I'm driving because I'm usually working. But I'm only 9 minutes, 7.7 miles out from my hotel. Gonna arrive with about 26%. I've got 28% on the battery now. It's down to 80 degrees. I did drive through some rain. It is absolutely beautiful evening. And I have driven 509 miles today on this last leg, 101 miles, 262 watt-hours per mile. Now keep in mind, these were much faster highway speeds on this last leg, plus I went through rain, which really negatively impacted efficiency. We drove for an hour and 27 minutes and we've gone 102 miles. So definitely highway speeds. And listen, we're just 8 minutes out from the Hampton Inn. Hopefully we can get there and get plugged in. I'll be back with you momentarily and I will update you. The time zone has flipped backwards to Central Time. So it's 7:35. We're going to arrive at 7:43. Again, add an hour to that. That would be 8:35, 8:43. Right around when I thought we would get there, between 8:30 and 9 or between 7:30 and 8 Central. So right on the money. I've done this many, many years, so I can usually predict pretty well when I'm going to arrive somewhere. This has been a great drive today. I got one more day of this, and then I'll be in Bossier City, Louisiana. 8,230 miles on this machine, by the way. 260 watt-hours per mile, and it is awesome. I was just talking to a friend after a couple of my business calls. He called me and was asking me about the car, and I told him how remarkable it was. Just the price, the fit and finish, the build quality, the noise, the suspension, the ride feel, everything about this car is so much better than my previous Model Y. I couldn't be happier. So great job, Tesla. I'm enjoying it. And I will update you here. Looks like it's a left-hand exit in 4 miles. So I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, and here we go, exiting for the hotel. Thank goodness. It's been a long day. So it's 8:40 Eastern. I've been going since about 5 a.m. Eastern. Certainly been a long one, but glad to get into the hotel here. And let's see if we've lucked out and have a charger available. I believe these are pay-for chargers. I love the hotels that have the free stuff. I don't believe this one is a free charging hotel property, but we will find out. We've got to get up here to this light. Looks like we're turning left at the first light from what I can see, yes. And it looks like my hotel is on the right then, not very far. I think I see it over there. Where am I staying? Hampton Inn. Yep, there's a Hampton Inn. Got some restaurants right around, which is fantastic. All in all, what a great trip, right? 109 miles on this last leg, 255 watt hours per mile. And for the day, 516 miles, 245 watt hours per mile. We're about to pull into the Hampton Inn. And it looks like I can just turn right here. Right up here. And just cut into the parking lot early. And we'll just go left and directly across to the Hampton Inn. And we have arrived. Now let's go ahead and find EV chargers. Usually they're around the side, around the back, something like that. And I think I see them right here. I sure do. And guess what? They are available. So let's get back into one of these stalls. Let's get plugged in. Let's get the suitcase out and let's get to juicing up. Thanks for following along today. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, hopefully with a full tank of fuel and ready to roll. And let's take a look after I get this backed up. A little bit closer, and right about there. So let's take a look at where we're going tomorrow and see how far we've got to go. Horseshoe Bossier City, there we go. So tomorrow, we are going to have to drive 467 miles, 7.5 hours, and it's recommending a couple stops. So I'm going to end trip because it's going to want to precondition, but we may only have to do one stop because we're going to be full fuel. So let's hit it and go get checked in. Actually, I already have my digital key, so I'm just going to get plugged in and then go from there. Oh, look, there's 2 more chargers over there. So great job here. Those appear to be Clipper Creek. And I'm going to be honest, not sure what we've got going on here, but I'm going to try plugging into one of them because they might be free charge units. Or they're lower powered. But I'm going to check this out at this site. This is pretty interesting, isn't it? Okay, I'll report back, and like I said, I'll connect back with you in the AM. Thanks for following along. Let me go ahead and move the car over just a little bit. Okay, be back with you here tomorrow. So I want to give you an update. I am moving back. Those are 11 kilowatt. The other ones are 6 kilowatt. They're all 40 cents a kilowatt hour, which is worth it to me to fill up. Not cheap, not crazy gouging prices. But yeah, those will work, but these definitely will fill me up 100%. Those might as well, but this will allow me the flexibility to make sure I definitely get to 100% state of charge. Because I'm getting in late, I'm leaving early. I want to make sure I have a full tank. So you have to download their app, of course. You have to load your credit card, etc. It's EnviroSpark, so let me do that, and I'm going to get juicing. Thank you. Have a good evening. Okay, I'm on the road again, just leaving Bristol, Virginia, headed to Roanoke, Virginia. Just pulled out of the Hard Rock and jumping on 81 North. Cloudy and overcast today. The car was covered with water, so it's been raining. And you'll see it's 73 degrees out, nice and cool day. And I've got a very short road trip this morning, 148 miles. You'll see since charge on the current drive, that's what we're going to go off of today. We have been driving for 2 minutes. So we just pulled out about a mile ago, and consumption is not great. But again, we're just starting out, so that will improve dramatically here as we go. So we're going to get up to highway speed. We're going to go ahead and engage FSD and let it do its thing. And we're going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the drive off to Roanoke, Virginia. 2 hours and 10 minutes, 148 miles. This is an easy one today. Now, I'm not resetting that Bristol trip gauge just because I want to be able to see. I drove from Cherokee, North Carolina, to Bristol, Virginia, to Roanoke, Virginia. This will show me the overall consumption over that about 200 and actually let me look. Yeah, about 280, 290 mile stretch. And then we'll see under the current drive and since charge. I'm not going to charge between here and Roanoke. If I have to stop for a restroom or something, so be it. But I need to get there for meetings, so I'm just going to hit the road and drive straight through easily. You can see, again, 147 miles to go, about a total of 150-mile trip. And I'll arrive with 53% on the battery. No big deal. I did charge up to 100%. They did have free charging at the Hard Rock, and I got it plugged in and then had the valet unplug it this morning, pull it up front, loaded the car up with all my belongings, and on the road we are with another Tesla road trip. If you enjoy this real-world road trip content, this is just me, you, and the camera. Not any fancy music, fancy overlays, or any of that. Do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, and follow along for road tripping all across the country in multiple different vehicles. My next trip after this, I'm doing some intra-Virginia, North Carolina stuff from Roanoke, Virginia to Danville, Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina, back and forth, etc., etc. But then I'll be traveling here in a few days from Roanoke, Virginia into Alabama for one night, and then into Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana, where I'll be for a couple of days. So, yeah, I've got a lot planned coming up. Watch for those adventures. And this, like I said, is just going to be a short one off to Roanoke, Virginia. You'll see my efficiencies improving just as we float along here. We're in standard mode, just riding along with traffic. And we're down to, 400 watt-hours per mile. That'll continue to improve as we drive along and the car calms itself down. I had climate on keep. Very, very humid because of the rain. And I was hot from loading the car up and everything, so I want to get cooled down. And I had that keep mode on. And now climate's on auto. I do have it pretty low. It is pretty chilly, but I want to get the cabin cooled down. And you'll see now we're in the 350s. That'll jump down into the 250, 260 here momentarily. Anyway, we're coming up past another supercharger that I've stopped at many times here in Bristol. Check it out. Let's click it on. This is the one that's at Sheets, and multiple different restaurant options right there. Pretty cool. Charged there many times with many different electric vehicles, including our Rivian R1T. Anyway, don't need any charging stops today. Glad that we started out at 100%. I love being able to pull into a hotel, plug in, and get free electrons, even if you have to pay for them. But it's so much sweeter when it's free, and you can just fill your car up to 100% for free on their energy. Really helps with the hotel cost if you think about it. If you could do that in a gas car and get a free tank of gas when you were staying at a hotel, wouldn't that be nice? And I get a lot of free charging. I've got a 2-year EVgo plan. I have about a year left on it. And so I've got 1 year of EVgo charging for free for left. And they're popping up everywhere. There's tons of them at the Pilot Flying J's. And then, of course, you get all the free charging at hotels and stuff, which is remarkably good. So there's that, advantage. So between the two, pretty darn good. Anyway, I'll be back with you here shortly. Pretty foggy this morning, as you can see. And we're just going to go ahead and ride along. It is foggy this morning. That's okay, though. Nice, cool, chilly, 73 degrees. It actually feels pretty good. Been driving for 24 minutes, 278 watt-hours per mile. Of course, consumption's improving as expected. Can you believe I have 7,100 miles on this Model Y Juniper already? This is a 2026 Model Y Juniper in ultra red color. You can probably see the hood color there or on the mirrors. And yes, it's a 2026. You can tell that by the VIN number, the 10th digit of the VIN number. But anyway, just 3 months of ownership, and I'm up to 7,100 miles. As a matter of fact, by the time I make it back to Shreveport, and then ultimately to Dallas-Fort Worth, this vehicle will have about 8,500 miles on it in 3 months. So pushing 3,000 miles a month. That's pretty normal for me, but I spread my miles across multiple vehicles. In the same amount of time, I've been racking miles up on the Cybertruck and some on the Rivian as well. So we're going to end up putting 50 to 75,000 miles spread amongst the cars this year on the vehicles, just with me driving, not including whatever my wife drives. And she doesn't do a lot of individual road tripping, although sometimes she'll meet me on a trip, but a lot of times she will travel with me, and when she does, we take one of our bigger vehicles like the Rivian or the Cybertruck. Anyway, only 120 miles to go. It shows an hour and 46 minutes. We'll see how it goes, but we are rocking and rolling. Like I said, it's cloudy. FSD's doing its thing. I am just relaxing here. I think it's amazing. Gotta love a Tesla. Anyway, listen, if you have any feedback, do me a favor. Shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. I appreciate all comment and feedback. It certainly helps. And I enjoy reading your comments and responding to them, regardless of the direction they take. And I do value and appreciate them. So here's the exit for Chilhowie, Virginia. Let me go ahead and press the right turn signal stop. Because we're in hurry mode, it doesn't like to shift lanes. Watch. It might. Is it going to do it? Yeah, now it will. It decided it will eventually. Hurry just loves to ride that left lane. They need to have a definite speed set feature, and you can just leave it in standard and it would stay in a right lane. What happens is hurry mode is the only mode that it'll actually follow the speed you set it at. In standard or chill, FSD profile standard or chill, that's just kind of the max speed, and it fluctuates up and down quite a bit with traffic, which is pretty natural in the way a lot of people drive. But I think most people, when you're setting a cruise control system, you want it to run a finite speed. You want to be able to set a speed and have the car follow that. So that should be an option or a checkbox or something to say set definite speed or set finite speed, whatever. It used to work that way, but in later versions of FSD, now the speed just wanders all over the place, which is why most of the time mine runs in hurry mode while I sit here and relax. Anyway, down there's the trip info. You can see overall in the Bristol trip, 171 miles, 231 watt-hours per mile. Phenomenal. Lifetime on the car, 262 watt-hours per mile. Incredible as well. And on the drive this morning, not that efficient yet, but again, we're just starting out, so that too will improve. Okay, I'll be back with you momentarily as we climb the hills up here, headed towards Wytheville, Virginia, and ultimately Roanoke, Virginia. My guess is, unless you've driven a car with FSD and you've actually used it, and I'm talking about one of the later versions, I'm talking about a Hardware 4 car, you just don't know how magical it is. I mean, I have been driving thousands of miles in this Juniper. I'm going to estimate 95% of all my driving in this car since I've purchased it has been on FSD. It's just that good. And that's not the case with any other Tesla I've ever owned, or frankly with any of the assistive technologies on any vehicle I've owned. I generally don't trust them. This one is very, very freaking good. And it makes road tripping so much easier. By the way, if you're going to buy a Tesla, use a referral code, because right now you get 3 months of free full self-driving. So get one from a friend or family member, or feel free to use mine. It's in the description of my videos. And if you need any parts or accessories for your Tesla, same way, by the way, if you're buying a Rivian, I've got a link in my description for that. I've got links for all kinds of suppliers for some really cool products like EV Base and TL Yard and many others that make some really, really good products. Yeah, check out that. But, you know, get that free FSD and experience it. I know even if you don't use a referral, you get like 1 month. I mean, try it. Really try it and open your mind. The scariest time you drive on FSD is the first time, because it's really weird to sit in the driver's seat and have a car control you. If you'd be in the passenger seat with it, and as a matter of fact, I've done many drives now where I've just kept my hand kind of on the wheel like this, my feet by the pedals, not on them, and actually I had somebody say, your driving's really smooth. I said, let me let you in on a secret. I haven't driven at all. They said, yeah, you're driving. No, the car, I've had full self-driving on. I just had my hand resting on the wheel. I didn't turn the wheel. I didn't press the wheel. And I haven't had my feet on the pedals. What about the turn signal and stuff? No, the car did absolutely everything. I just didn't want to have my hand up on the windowsill and freak you out like this. But the car's driven us the entire way there. And that has really, really shocked some people. Matter of fact, a friend of mine rode with me from Dallas-Fort Worth to Tulsa in this car and was completely completely blown away. About halfway through the trip, I put my hand up here. He eventually put my hand right up here. He eventually looked over and goes, "Hey, why is your hand not on the wheel?" I said, "I haven't driven this car since we left. It's been driving. I was just resting my hand there at first to keep you comfortable." And he said, "There's no way." And it pulled into a parking lot. I hit the park button on the screen. It parked. He and I had a meeting at a restaurant, did that, came out, punched in the address of our hotel. It drove us there and then parked there, and he was just awestruck. It is amazing, y'all. And when I'm on a trip like this, it just takes away any fatigue. You know, I've got to drive over here a couple hours. I've got meetings all day. I think I have 8 or 10 meetings, back to back to back, which I got to be sharp. And then I got to take off and drive another couple hours, and I have 2 more meetings. So this takes a lot of the stress out of it. You know, I've been doing this for many, many years, and Teslas have been a game changer for me. Really have made my drives so much better. And people would think, as much as I road trip, why don't I do it with a gas car? Well, there's several reasons. I wanted to test the EVs back several years ago, so I purchased my first Tesla right around 3 years ago, almost 3 years to the day. And I took my first road trip the next day after buying it. I had no idea what I was doing and just let the car route me. And it was game-changing for me. Of course, those first trips, I sat and charged a long time. I would sit at these chargers 30, 40 minutes and not understand that I could just charger hop or whatever. And I've learned how to manage the logistics of it to where my typical stop is 15 minutes or less, and every 2 to 3 hours. And then the cars have just gotten more efficient, and then self-driving's gotten better. It has just really, really, really blown me away. And the time savings for me of waking up to a full tank of fuel every day at home, never having to go to the gas station when I'm around my house, never having a gas station when I'm around my work, never really having to go for service, no oil changes, no transmission, none of that nonsense, just an occasional tire rotation at Discount Tire, which is no cost. Way lower operating costs, way lower fuel costs. And you add it all up, and it just makes sense for me to road trip in an electric vehicle. I'm not losing a ton of time. I've beat people on the similar routes that are driving gas cars in my Tesla, and it shocked them because they would stop for fuel, stretch your legs, do this and that. I would just stop, do a splash and dash and go, and actually beat them out of the stop and made it to the final destination before they did. It is possible. Now, if you're somebody who gets in a car and wants to drive 500 miles straight through, which is not most people, but if you are, yes, this will be slower. But if you want to do 250 or 300 miles straight through, it'd be fine. People have a lot to learn. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and a lot of misinformation out there about electric vehicles. I can tell you it's changed things for me in a very positive way, and I would never go backwards. Now, do I still have access to and use some gas vehicles? I do. I have some gas vehicles here in Virginia. A Ram pickup and a Lexus that I drive and use and whatever. And of course, we've got the Rivian that we use and drive, and this one, and the Cybertruck. We have a few vehicles. We keep them in multiple locations. But I just love the EVs. The power, the torque, the instant response. Everything about them makes me enjoy them even more. And then the technology constantly evolving is so impressive to me. I just absolutely love it. I love how full self-driving has become a really, really great thing. And yeah, I'm a fan. I'm really a fan. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Let's take a look at some stats. 73 degrees out, 8:14 a.m. I've been rolling now for 43 minutes. 276 watt-hours per mile, driven 51.4 miles. And we're under 100 miles. That means we're almost there. That's like a blink of an eye. Hour and 27 minutes left. Should arrive to work with about 51% left on the battery. And around 9:42 a.m. Okay. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, here's another update for you. 8:29 a.m. 74 degrees out. We have 73% left on the battery. It's saying I'm going to get there with 51%. We've got 79 miles yet to go. We're at 271 watt hours per mile after driving 58 minutes and 70 miles. So we've been on the road about an hour. Yeah, hour and 12 minutes left, 9:42 a.m. arrival time. Let me dial the speed back here because we're getting into a work zone. And I want to get around this car that's beside me so I can let this car that's on my bumper go by. There we go. Turning into a beautiful morning here in Virginia. Still 73 degrees out, but I imagine it'll warm up some. You can see the sky is spectacular looking this morning. So I thought that was an ID4 with Virginia tags zipping up along. That's a nice electric vehicle. I've been in those, driven them. My son had almost bought one of those, and really I think they're a nice car. You know, the software's a little glitchy, buggy, whatever, but coming from a gas car, most people don't know that it's bad. It's better than what they had in their car, so I think it's all relative. Compared to the Tesla software, it's trash. But anyway, riding along. I'll be back with you here in just a bit. Okay, as always, the car is magically efficient. 258 watt hours per mile. That will improve here, in my belief, over the next 60 miles. This is usually a very efficient stretch. The weather's good. It's 77 degrees. It's clear skies. Beautiful driving day. Gonna arrive around 9:41 a.m. with 50% on the battery. And yeah, this thing is magically efficient. Nice drive through here, isn't it? So how do you like road tripping? I personally love it. I think road tripping is a lot of fun. Is that something you enjoy, or do you dread it? Most people I know do not like the road trip. They feel terrible if they have to drive more than an hour. They get a lot of anxiety. I don't mind it at all. I enjoy road tripping. What about you? I'd love to hear your opinion on it. And if you do get anxiety, maybe full self-driving could help you get over that. I keep showing my hand up there just to show you all that this car continues to drive me through traffic, through whatever we need to do. It's doing its job remarkably well, I may add. Here's the exit for Pulaski, Virginia. We're almost there. Less than an hour to go. Looking forward to getting there. I'm going to get the car plugged in. I do have charging at the office. We're going to juice this thing up again and head down this afternoon to Danville, Virginia, which is about another 2-hour drive. I won't be able to film that for you because I've got coworkers in the car with me and meetings. So, unfortunately, no video on that one, but I will show you here the final stats on this particular trip coming up soon. Okay, here's another trip update. Working through the winding roads here, through the mountains. We are down to 245 watt hours per mile, 120 miles in, an hour and 40 minutes. And we've got about 30 minutes left, 29 miles, 29 minutes, almost there. We get off on 581 south towards Roanoke in 21 miles. So, car's doing great. I've had it on FSD the entire time. No disengagements whatsoever. And, yeah, it's doing its job. I'm running in standard profile currently. It seems to be holding speed properly. It's changing lanes properly. Very, very happy. It's been a good trip this morning. I appreciate you following along. And I can't believe, again, how many miles I have on this Model Y. 7,200 miles now. And just magical efficiency. I keep saying that. This car is so good, y'all. Really, the upgrades are remarkable. Couldn't be happier. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a bit. Okay, the car continues to improve, showing I'm going to ride with 52% now. We're down to 238 watt hours per mile. Overall, in the Bristol trip from Cherokee to Bristol to Roanoke, Virginia, 230 watt hours per mile. I mean, this thing continues to impress. Let's put it back in normal standard mode. moves out of the fast lane and lets cars get around me. We're almost there, thank goodness. 9:39 a.m. ETA now. Nice looking Ford Maverick. Do you know, I read somewhere Virginia has more personalized plates per capita than any state. Their personalized plates are very, very inexpensive, and that plate said Milkman. But I see a lot of personalized plates. And it's funny, they're expensive in Texas, but I do have a personalized plate on this vehicle as well as on the Cybertruck. So the Model Y Juniper has EV Caddy, EVCADDY as its license plate, which I find extremely amusing because I had that on my Cadillac Lyriq and the car failed, and I bought this to replace the EV Caddy. So this is my new EV Caddy. Lyriq was terrible charging, not tolerable for road tripping. I had to get rid of it, unfortunately. I would not recommend that car until they get to Gen 2 and they improve their charging. It's very difficult to road trip in one unless you're okay with sitting at a charger for an hour in the summer in the heat when it can't cool the battery properly. Just terrible EV. Great car, terrible EV. And anyway, on the Cybertruck, the license plate is the same as my YouTube channel. It's by Tesla, BYTESLA. So, and it's a Texas oil and gas plate that says by Tesla. So I do like and I'm a fan of personalized plates, but I noticed so many of them when I'm in Virginia, and some very creative ones. So I think that's pretty neat. Looks like it's starting to get pretty overcast here. We're at 82 degrees. It has warmed up some. 9:23 a.m. I'm going to arrive to my work office at 9:39. And yeah, this is the magical efficiency area where I think we'll see this really improve over the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll see. Let's see what it gets to. But I knew it was going to get better as we got closer. And I think it'll continue to improve as we ride into Roanoke, Virginia. And again, I want to thank you all for following along. I appreciate you watching these road trips. It's a great hobby for me. I enjoy it. And hopefully it gives you something to do recreationally, watching, listening, and learning maybe how the Tesla interface works. Someone asked me, how do I get this up on the screen? So if that's not there, you can typically click the little pop-up. It'll bring up your music. You can swipe these cards then for several things. And if you click them on, it'll pull up the corresponding app. Pretty neat, right? So hopefully some of these little tips help. But anyway, we are getting closer. Be there momentarily. I'll be back with you shortly. Oh, here's a construction zone. Somebody asked me to film a little bit in a construction zone with the Model Y on FSD. Now, I am going to rest my hand on the wheel just because we're riding up along, a construction area. But you'll see it's managing it perfectly. Should really be no issue. I think it does a great job in construction. Some little tricky parts coming up here. You'll see just tons and tons of traffic now. Efficiency continues to improve. Of course, we're going a little slower, but take a look at the efficiency down there. I don't know about you. I think FSD's doing a fine job. Let's see how it does with this lane shifting up here. I don't think it'll have a problem. It's riding right beside this big truck. It's staying off to the left side of the lane. You'll see it's riding closer to the yellow line, which is where it should be. And then it should adjust over. Yep, it just did. Here we've got a hard braking event. I'm going to keep my four-ways on because I got vehicles behind me. Okay. So far, so good. Just very slow moving through here. Yeah, the mapping didn't pick up any traffic in this area, but it's certainly very congested right now. Traditionally, there's been traffic in this area even prior to construction. I'm hoping they expand this and make it 3 lanes going in each direction. I'd hope that's what all this construction is about, but we will see. I have no idea. Pretty cool, though, to be able to drive, 150 miles and use less than half the battery. So that just goes to show you can truly get 300 miles out of this Juniper. And obviously more if you're not running at faster highway speeds. If you dial the speed back, you can definitely get 325 plus out of this car, and then around town probably 350 plus. But you know, I do run at highway speeds, so that definitely kills consumption. A lot of mountains through this area, Appalachian Mountains. There's a Salem, Virginia exit. I think it handled that well. I will be back with you in just a little bit here with kind of some final trip information. Down here, though, you'll see we're down to 232 watt-hours per mile. You saw it continuing to improve there as I was driving. Crazy, crazy, crazy good. Great job, Tesla. Be back soon. Okay, we are on the final stretch. We're now on 581, 232 watt-hours per mile. Been driving 2 hours. 144 miles. Overall, going to arrive with around 52% on the battery, sitting at 53 now. It's 81 degrees. The sun is poking out, and we are in the Roanoke Valley. Almost to my office. I'm going to give you a final stat update here in just a minute. This car is so good that barely feels like you're moving at 60 miles an hour. I mean, seriously, it's crazy good. 229 watt-hours per mile now. We are almost there. I am going to give you my final trip information when I get off this exit coming up. And because then I've got to run into my work and take care of some things. So, anyhow. Let me go ahead and walk you through it. We've got 2 more miles to go, so let's just call it 150 miles overall. We're in the 228 watt-hours per mile range. Overall in the Bristol trip, 226 watt-hours per mile, 287 miles. Lifetime on the car, 7,220 miles, 261 watt-hours per mile. Model Y is incredibly efficient. It's a great car. I highly recommend it. Again, use our referral code if you're going to buy one. Mine's in the description if you need it. And try FSD. Go test drive a Tesla that has the latest version of FSD and check it out. It's a total game changer, and I really think if the general population knew these cars drive themselves, it would change perspective. I mean, just look at this. Ride with me and check it out. I mean, do you see what the car just did here? I mean, look at that. They stopped in merging, which, you know, they shouldn't do because there's a far right merging lane. And that truck did the wrong thing and stopped in merging. And the car stopped fine, smoothly. It did what it needed to do. It's jumping over to the correct lane. And, yeah, that is the end of my video. Again, thanks for following along, and stay with me for the next one. Subscribe so you can see future videos. Have a great day, everyone, and take care. So I'm just checking out of the Hampton Inn here in Birmingham, Trustville. And looks like we've got potentially one electric car. It's a Honda. And I'd say not. I'd say they're just icing a stall. Yep. So I was the only electric car here charging. It only pulled 6 kilowatts, even though it's an 11 kilowatt hour charger. And but guess what? Less than 5 minutes ago, it said it's full. It's about 5:15 a.m. and I'm going to hit the road. I'll be in the car in a second and show you where we're headed. Be back with you shortly. Okay, so as you know, we're headed to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Shreveport, Louisiana. We've driven 516 miles yesterday, 245 watt-hours per mile. Car's charged to 100%, which is 323 miles of rated range. Originally, when new, it was 327. So it's dropped a few miles, no big deal. Headed to the EVgo charger in Meridian, Mississippi. It's right along route. I'll get there in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'll need to stop and stretch my legs until then. We're taking off around 5:20 a.m., 79 degrees out. Now, let's go ahead and add in our final stop. Oops, wrong button. Hit this, edit trip. We're going to add the final stop, which is the Horseshoe, Bossier City. We're going to plug that in. I'm also going to add an EVgo in West Monroe, Louisiana. Let's see if this is the right one. Nope, it is not. So we want EVgo West Monroe. And it's that one on 300 Well Road. We're going to add that in. We're going to sort these just like this. That's our route today. We're going to utilize our free charging. Now it's going to add Tesla superchargers in there. And it's saying 467 miles. It says we'll arrive at 12:33 p.m. with 2 Tesla charging stops, 5 minutes and 15 minutes. Of course, we're not doing those. We'll leave them in there. That's fine. It doesn't matter. They'll go away because once I charge here, this one will drop off. And then once I charge here, this one will drop off. Should get to the Horseshoe by 1 p.m. or so today. Let's go ahead and hit the road, and I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so we are rolling. Good clear morning, 78 degrees out. It's 5:24 a.m. Been on the road for 3 minutes, so we left at 5:20. We'll see how long it takes us to go those miles you saw. What was it, 467, 470, something like that. Not a long drive today, super easy. I've been up since about 3:15 a.m., took care of some work, and now I am on the road. So, 1 second, I want to get in the right lane. Let this car past. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. Anyway, like I said, we're making good progress this morning. 401 watt-hours per mile. You'll see that dropping here as we drive. What did it just drop to? 389. It's kind of hard for me to see right now. It's a little dark out. And that'll just keep dropping down. We should get similar efficiency to yesterday, although this stretch I found in general is less efficient. It's really rough roads, if you can feel that with me and hear that. It's one of those concrete roadways that's just roughly designed, lot of friction and not a great surface, and I just get less efficiency in general. So I'm not expecting tremendous efficiency today. But what I'm expecting is a good ride. I'm trying to get through Birmingham before we hit any real traffic. You can see cars are already moving here at 5:30 this morning in Birmingham. And but we'll be through this city in the next 15 minutes. And that's part of the reason I left so early, is to get past that and not get hung up in Birmingham traffic. And then this is just a quick 2-hour and 10-minute additional remaining time to get to this EVgo charger. And again, I'm going to those because they are free for me. So I did pay for charging overnight. Unfortunately, those were rated for 11.5 kilowatts, the bigger ones that I moved to. I only got 6 kilowatts. I'm guessing they're all rated at about 5.5 to 6 kilowatts, but I got 6 kilowatts. And it notified me as I was grabbing my bags from the room and headed down to the car. I got the notification that charging had completed. So it was absolutely perfect timing. Very, very pleased with that. And I'm back on the road. So till this trip's done today, we'll have driven about 1,000 miles between yesterday at lunchtime and today at lunchtime. So in roughly a 24-hour span, about 1,000 miles. Not a big deal. I do this all the time. And nighttime, daytime, whatever. Check out the ambient lighting, by the way. Isn't it fantastic? Really makes it look like a spaceship in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ride along for a while. I will be back with you, and obviously if anything wild goes on, I'll report it, but I'm going to keep you updated as we ride along, and then as we get to this charger and get plugged in. Thanks for following. Thought you might want to see Birmingham as we pass through. Let's dial the speed back a bit. There we go. But yeah, we're just passing through downtown Birmingham now. As you can see, about to jump on, what is that, 20 West? And guess what? We left at the right time. There's plenty of traffic, but not congested. It's flowing at highway speeds. No issues. And that's what we want. Uneventful travel. FSD, by the way, this morning's been doing a fantastic job. I've been enjoying it. You know, the speed back some. We've got some big potholes here. Wow. The roads in some of these areas are just absolutely ridiculous. Alright, let's jump over a lane when the car will do it. Come on. That's me putting the right turn signal on. Okay, it doesn't want to. So now we're going to put it in standard mode and try it again. Come on, go ahead and switch over. It's very stubborn in the latest version of FSD. It just won't listen sometimes. But most of the time I don't like to manually intervene anyway and just let it do its thing. But you know, there's cars coming up behind me. They need to pass, and so I wanted to manually intervene. Anyway, let's take a look at our stats. We're actually starting out really well, surprisingly to me. 250 watt-hours per mile again. I don't know if this car just gets more efficient as you drive it or what the heck is going on, but wow, good stuff. Anyway, we've got about 2 hours to our stop, and we've now passed through Birmingham, and should be some pretty smooth sailing from here. Let's go ahead and get it in hurry mode, and let's rock and roll and get to our destination. Love how the view changes depending on what's going on. It's really fantastic. Made a good product here, Tesla, that's for sure. Anyway, you can see I'm getting past like I'm sitting still. Pretty aggressive traffic. And yeah, westbound and down, here we go. Okay, here we go. It is 6 a.m. Sun is starting to come up. Looks like a pretty cloudy day so far. We'll kind of see what happens as we go. It's showing overcast on the weather right here. Let's click the weather. Check that out. Nice little Tesla pro tip. Passing through Vance, Alabama. There is a supercharger here in this area. Anyway, there you go. Flip to daylight mode. I was hoping that would happen while we were talking. So now on light mode, daylight mode. We have driven almost 49 miles, 262 watt-hours per mile. Pretty pleased with the efficiency this morning. Again, it's usually not that great on this stretch, so that's decent. Been driving 41 minutes, and I've got an hour and 30 minutes to go, 110 miles. Looks like we'll get to the EVgo charging station at the Pilot Flying J with 43%. And so far, it has been an easy drive. We're kind of past the congested traffic areas now, just got through that. And you can see the interstate's just cleared out, and we are just riding. So not going to pass through really any major cities, just some small ones, and hopefully it'll be free sailing all the way across to Bossier City today. Let's take a look at what our ETA is. Not sure why the car just slowed down like that. Anyway, our ETA to Bossier City is now still showing, it's actually still showing 12:33. There is charging there in the garage at the Horseshoe, which we'll use. So, again, we're going to skip Pearl, Mississippi. We're going to skip Ruston, Louisiana. We're simply going to charge these two EVgos as long as they work right, and off we go. So 2 stops today, roughly just under 500 miles. Could make it on 1 stop if it was right in the middle and I sat there for half an hour. It's just easier to do 2 quick pops. Certainly I'm stopping way early at 43%. I would not need to do that, but it's free juice, right? So makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and ride along and just relax. My phone's not blowing up this morning, probably for the next hour or so. And I can just kind of relax and clear my head and enjoy the drive. I love road tripping and really, really enjoy this Model Y. We're at 8,288 miles. Should be around 8,700 miles today until we get to Bossier City. So look how fast cars are going by me again. I'm going highway speed, so just to give you an idea, this is very, very fast highway through here. Okay, have a good morning. Be back with you here shortly. Well, good news. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. 79 degrees out now. And we're only an hour and 14 minutes out, 87 miles. We should arrive with around 42% on the battery. We're currently at 75%. Let's take a look. We are 588 miles total into the Shreveport trip. 246 watt-hours per mile. And this morning we're at 255. Lifetime on this Model Y is at 260. I am truly, truly blown away. After 40,000 miles on my previous Model Y, I had a 2023 long range that I put about 40,000 miles on in about a year and a half, and I was able to get it down to around 298 watt-hours per mile. So you do the math, but that's 38 watt-hours per mile worse than this. More than 10% efficient in the new Model Y Juniper. I mean, it's significantly more efficient. Absolutely love this car, and love the efficiency. This is a great road tripper. So we're going to ride along, get here to this stop, get juiced up, and find a snack or something here this morning to keep us going, because we've been going since early a.m. Looking forward to getting to Shreveport. I used to stay at Bally's a ton. Honestly, Bally's needs a major remodeling, and they've done a big remodeling, Caesars has, of the Horseshoe. And it's really, really come a long way. The hotel part of it's been completely remodeled. And yeah, wow, that was burn up. The trailer had caught fire. Anyway, so yeah, this Horseshoe has remodeled rooms, so that'll be nice. Just staying there for a couple of nights and gonna relax. Got a little bit of business to take care of, and then we'll stay an extra night and just have a nice time. So anyway, I will update you here. Got a little over an hour to go. No big deal. Be back shortly. Been a little overcast for a while. I'm hoping we get into clear skies. But listen, it's early. It's 6:38 a.m. So as the sun comes up, the skies may clear up. And we'll kind of see how it goes. Let's take a look at our stats and see how we're doing. We have 54 minutes, 62 miles to go. And we'll arrive with around 42%. That's held pretty consistent. Efficiency is right around 261 watt hours per mile. I am riding in the left lane because there's been a lot of potholes in the right lane. Pretty rough. So on the current drive, 97 miles. We burnt 25 kilowatt hours of energy, and we've been driving for an hour and 20 minutes. This has been good, y'all. Good morning. Got through Birmingham traffic. Now just riding along on 20. It's absolutely fantastic. Loving the FSD, loving the car. Just enjoying the drive and kind of clearing my head here before my phone starts going off in the next 20 or so minutes. So, yeah, this has been a good one so far. I'll check back with you in a little bit. We're getting very close to the charger now. Should be there momentarily. This is a lot of the drive across 20 for those that aren't experienced with it. You know, I'm in Louisiana, and just look at this. It's just flat, straight, as far as you can see, for miles upon miles. This is the drive. Here's a stat update. You can see them down there below. And the car's actually doing really well. Surprisingly better efficiency than I expected. Still showing arriving at 7:32 with 42%. We're only about 45 minutes out. It is pretty overcast. 80 degrees, nice and cool out. And 61% on the battery. We are just riding. And this is it. FSD, not hard for any basic lane centering car software to handle this stretch for sure. But FSD handles this and everything else. Crazy, isn't it? Just flat and straight. Anyway, I'll check back with you in a little bit. We are almost there. Okay, 7:07 a.m., 80 degrees out, still riding along, still straight, and an occasional little tiny curve, maybe an occasional little tiny hill, but this is pretty much the ride the whole way. Again, not super efficient on this stretch, 265 watt hours per mile. Way better than I thought it would be. But it's just, you've got uneven lanes, you've got rough roads. It's just typically poor efficiency through this stretch. With that being said, I'm pleased overall. 650 miles on the overall Shreveport trip, 249 watt hours per mile overall. Remarkably good, 4 miles per kilowatt hour. And we're only 24 minutes, 25 miles, still 732 and still 42% estimated. Spot on Tesla, great job. But nonetheless, we're just gonna ride along, enjoy this, and I'll be there before you know it, in a blink of an eye. For you, it'll just seem like a couple of seconds. Anyway, I'll update you here as we're getting off the exit and show you where these EVgo chargers are. I've charged at this one in Meridian several times. Matter of fact, on a road trip with my daughter, if you look back through, you'll see where she and I stopped there in her Model Y and in my new Juniper. And what we found as we road trip together in the 2023 Model Y that used to be mine, as well as my new one, is this thing's just way more efficient. Through the course of a day, I would gain half an hour to an hour over her, where I could skip a charging stop. It just does that well. This car's just that efficient. So efficiency is king, and this car's got it. So anyway, updating you in a minute as we get off the exit. One more update before we get to the charger. It just popped up 16 miles out, preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So that'll get the battery heated to the proper temperature. You know, it is only 79 degrees out. I've been driving. It's got to get the battery around 9,500 degrees, something like that. And then it'll be optimum temperature, and it can receive the maximum charging speed possible at the state of charge we arrive at, which will be around 42-43%. So we'll get there, we'll plug in. We're not going to see 200 kilowatts, maybe around 130 to 150, probably 135 or so at this state of charge. I'm going to use the restroom. I got to see if they have any food options at this particular stop, and then we'll get back on the road. I think the next leg's 200 or so miles, so it's a longer one. I need to decide if I want to charge up that long to go to that EVgo, or if I want to do a splash and dash along the way. I'll probably need the time, and yeah, so I'll probably charge there for 15 minutes, be up to 75 or whatever percent, take off and make it to 200 miles. That's more than likely what I'll do, but we'll see. We will figure it out. Let's get there and get juicing, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. I should mention stats for you, as always. 268 watt-hours per mile. Again, this is the less efficient stretch, like I thought, and 144 miles on this drive so far. It's been a good drive so far this morning. Been rolling for almost 2 hours. Okay, we are officially passing through Meridian, Mississippi. Kind of already passed through it. Now we're on the outskirts and about to get off the exit in 1 mile. You'll see the Pilot Flying J EVgo's across the road, so we'll have to cross over the highway. Not a big deal. So let's take a look at the stats while we're rolling in here to this stop. 158 miles, 2 hours and 6 minutes, 270 watt-hours per mile. We'll probably see that improve just a little bit as we regen off the exit. Shows we're arriving at 729 now with 41%, so it was pretty accurate the entire time. Really pleased with that overall. Preconditioning did burn a couple of percent of the battery. It stopped preconditioning here a few minutes ago, so it's got it to the right temperature. And let's see how FSD does getting off the exit. Sometimes it comes in pretty hot on these exits. I think it's handling this one pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, that was pretty decent. We got to go up here and turn left. It comes to a total complete stop, which is excellent. And here is the Pilot Flying J truck stop. And there's the EVgo chargers off to the side. And I am going to take over as we pull in here. I do that simply by tapping the brake quickly. No big deal. Right over here are the chargers. They're nice. They have the trash cans with them, as well as squeegees typically are available. We're going to go ahead and back into this one. I'll pull up a little bit because I'm right by that blue handle. There we go. Let's go ahead and get plugged in. My CCS adapter is in the door. It's right here. Okay, I'll be right back with you. There we go, payment authorized. It pops over to that immediately. Auto Charge Plus works great. There's my CCS handle. You'll see it's flashing blue. Connecting to vehicle. And let's take a look at the site while it's getting hooked up. Not too bad. Right off the interstate, so pretty clean, pretty easy. I can get my windshield cleaned off quick, use the restroom, throw away the empty water bottle I've got. And we thought we would get around 130 or so kilowatts. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Gotta love the no cost. And a little faster than I expected at 41%. So already up to 160, which is good. 161. Okay, I'm leveling out. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, over here are the chargers. Again, this is a great setup. Take a look at the Model Y Juniper. Looking fantastic here. And let's go ahead and check how well we're charging. We've only been here a few minutes. I got everything situated in the car. There's no food there that I want. Been charging for 6 minutes, 12 kilowatt hours. Still pulling 98 kilowatts. Let me take a look at what we need to do for the next stop, and I'll be back with you. So I figured out my plan, and I'm going to get out of here in just a minute. But let's take a look at some stats. We are 159 miles into the drive, 268 watt hours per mile. I'm going to stop in about 30 minutes at a McDonald's that's right off the interstate. And from there, if I try to go to the GM Energy station, it's quite a ways away. And I'm not sure if I can make it that far without stopping to use the restroom again. So here's my final destination in Shreveport. So it's saying if I'm going to add in charging stops, watch what happens. It's going to add one in probably. Yeah, so it says if I stop in Vicksburg, Mississippi for 17 minutes, I can make it to the Horseshoe, no problem. Which, you know, that might be the move. Just stop there and use the restroom real quick. Let's see how far that is after McDonald's. It's about an hour and hour and a half after the McDonald's stop. So that may make the most sense. I'd really like to throw a little more free juice on here. Let me go ahead and check my email for a few minutes, see where we're at. We've only got to get up to maybe 75% or so in order to make it straight through without stopping. So let's kind of see what happens, and I'll be back with you here momentarily. So I just finished email, and I'm ready to go. Now, I can take off right now. There's plenty of Tesla charging stops along this route. And, yeah, I've got multiple options along here to stop at. No big deal. There's also, I believe, an Electrify America right along here. So I've got a ton of options. Here's the thing. I really want to use my free charging. So it's a matter of, do I take off now or do I just wait a couple of minutes? Right now, if I take off, I'm going to arrive to the next stop at minus 4%. So if I just wait, I don't know, 4 to 5 minutes, I'll have a little bit of a buffer to arrive there. And it's free. And I can always stop earlier if I need to for a bio break or whatever and just throw juice in for a few minutes. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And then we'll just see how far along I can ride. Because that is, if we remove the McDonald's stop, let's take a look at total time and distance. So, you know, it's currently 7:45. I would make it there at 11 a.m. So that's 3 hours and 15 minutes of driving. That's not including me stopping there and going through the drive-thru. So we'll see. You know what I'm going to probably do is go ahead and place my order for the McDonald's, get that set up, and then that way I can just speed through the drive-thru. I'm going to program that in the app now, and that'll take me a few minutes, and then I'll be ready to go. So there you go. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I just placed my mobile order, which means it is just about time to go. It shows now I'll arrive to that next charger in West Monroe, Louisiana. It's an EVgo, Pilot Flying J in West Monroe, Louisiana. I'll arrive there with around 4%. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to wait a minute or two. We're just going to get it up to 78, from 78% to 80%. By the way, total trip here, 675 miles, 250 watt-hours per mile. Phenomenal car. And the fact that it should be able to make this with only 80% on the battery is pretty impressive too. So let's just let it, it's going to pop up to 79 in just a second, and then it'll pop up to 80, and we'll get out of here. This is kind of a cluttered layout, honestly, for one of these Pilot Flying J's, but it has everything you need. It's right off the highway. I like it. It's a good stop to me. And yeah, we've got about 30 minutes to go to that McDonald's. That's no big deal. And you'll see now we're up to 79%, showing 5% state of charge upon arrival. I'm not worried about single-digit arrival. I can always slow down a little on the highway. No big deal. And again, I can pop off to a Tesla charger. I just, I'd prefer to get all these free electrons. I need to use up this free juice while I have it. I enjoy that. I think it's great having free charging. And I'm using it for road tripping. It's not like I'm going from my house. At home, I just charge at home. I'm not going to waste the time to go plug in at EVgo. Now, if I'm out and about running and I'm stopping at my Whole Foods locally in the Flower Mound, Texas area, I will plug in there and get some free juice. Anyway, it just popped over to 80, so let's go ahead and get unplugged. Let's look at the charging session stats. It's down to 53 kilowatts anyway, so it's charging pretty slow at this point, but see where we're at. Here we go. We've been here 20 minutes, probably 10 minutes too long. Put in 30 kilowatt hours of energy, and we're charging at 52. So let's hit stop charge, and this is going to go white, and I'm out of here. So even though I ordered it 30 minutes in advance, it's not ready when I get here. So they had me pull up to this spot and wait. Anyway, I've only been here a minute or two. We are tracking good for arrival at the next EVgo in West Monroe, Louisiana, showing arriving at 9% in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. We'll see if I can make it that far. That'll put me there around 11:04 a.m. Here's a little bit of this leg. 25 minutes, 25 miles, 261 watt-hours per mile. Be back with you shortly. Okay, so here is a trip update. We're riding along. It's showing we're going to arrive with 8%, 2 hours and 27 minutes, 169 miles. You saw we charged to 80%, so we're down to 65%. We have driven 42.4 miles, 272 watt-hours per mile. Again, not tremendously good efficiency. I am running at highway speeds. I've moderated the speed some just to build up my range upon arrival, but no big deal. We may experience some weather, so that may slow us down, and that may decrease the range, because friction and rain and things like that will decrease your efficiency. Either way, though, it's 8:36 a.m., 81 degrees out, and we are riding along. Self-driving's been doing the job this entire trip, as you know, and I'm just here for the ride. 8,439 miles on this car now, 260 watt-hours per mile. It is going well, just the same type of drive the whole way. So right now I feel good. I think I can make this entire 168 mile leg, but we'll see how it goes. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. I realized something I said earlier. I made a mistake. I said I was driving through Louisiana and, you know, pretty much straight, and same thing. It was actually Mississippi, so I will be in Louisiana soon, but anyhow, just a little mistake I made. Still riding along, showing 11% state of charge upon arrival, just riding along at highway speeds here. 259 watt-hours per mile. Been driving for about an hour, and all is good. Just thought I'd give you that quick update. It is warming up a little, 82 degrees out. And it's 8:50 a.m. Shows I'm going to hit this next stop around 11 a.m. Got about a little over 2 hours, 150 miles. So off we go. Be back with you shortly. So now, as we've dropped down to 100 miles, we're only an hour and a half away. We still have 42% on the battery. We are running at highway speeds now. running a little better with traffic. And showing 11:01 arrival with 8%, which is totally fine. And I have been driving already for an hour and 41 minutes on this leg. Can you believe that? And I've got another hour and 27 minutes. This is a long one. You can see how far these cars can go on 80%. So range anxiety, go away. I love getting there in single digits because this thing will juice up super quick. I will not need to be at this charger long at all. And I'm just going to throw juice in it and then get to the hotel ultimately in Bossier City. Right now, I only have plugged into navigation the charging station in West Monroe. And the reason why is it will keep putting a supercharger stop in there, and it will want to stop before the CV Go stop to top up, and I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to ride along and see how it goes. Be getting there here very shortly. Only an hour and 26 minutes, 99 miles. Let's take a look at the efficiency. 251 watt hours per mile on this leg, 250 overall. 789 miles so far on this Shreveport trip, and we are rocking and rolling. 9:35 a.m. We're just kicking it down the highway right now. 84 degrees out. Can you believe I'm going to be at almost 9,000 miles on this thing by the end of this trip back to Dallas-Fort Worth? That's kind of crazy, right? So anyway, here we go. FSD has done the job the entire day, by the way. This has been a remarkable FSD trip where it's done almost all of the miles on this entire trip. Really, really outrageously good. Okay, be back shortly. So you may be able to see up in the distance, but just had a whole biker gang, which, you know, there's plenty of them around Texarkana, Texas, and anyway, they swarmed all around the car and whatever, which is fine. I really don't care. But they rode alongside of me for a little bit, and then they took off, and they're pretty far up ahead there. I didn't even think to video it. I was on a phone call and didn't really even concern me. I'm not worried about them. But anyway, we are about to cross over the Mississippi River, which is kind of cool. It's Vicksburg, Mississippi. There's a supercharger right there at the Ameristar Casino. So if I zoom, let's take a look. There it is. Yeah, it's a 12 stall, 250 kilowatt, which we don't need to charge. We're only going 80 miles. We've got 36% on the battery. We've got plenty of range. Showing we're going to get there with 8%. I have been running at highway speeds. So I did suck down some of that juice. But yeah, I thought you'd want to see the Mississippi River here as we cross over and get a quick stat update. We're under 250 watt hours per mile overall, which is completely remarkably good on this current drive. 132 miles, 248 watt hours per mile. And overall in the car, it's going to drop below 260 maybe. I mean, this is nuts. I talk about this efficiency thing a lot on these trips. I'm just still getting used to it. I'm very, very happy with how efficient this car is. I just didn't expect it. I thought it would be a few percent better. I thought I'd be at 285, 290 watt hours per mile. I mean, this is just way beyond that. So it really helps on these trips because I can stretch it and go, like on this leg, 3.5 plus hours, which is great. And that's as far as I can go. I mean, I need to stop to use a restroom anytime now, but I'll make it another hour. I'm fine. Yeah, this is about as far as I could go. So Mississippi River's coming up. And our next stop is going to be that West Monroe charger. Let me adjust the speed. There we go. Just riding along at highway speeds. And here it is. The Ameristar, Riverwalk, Bally's. Quite a few options right there. Riverboat's down here to my right. We'll see if we can see it. But yeah, the Ameristar's just up over there. is the Mississippi River, the Great Mississippi. And right down there is the riverboat. You can see it right there. That's the Ameristar riverboat. And we've got a wide load here crossing this bridge. That's interesting. The FSD did a great job going around that. Let me go ahead and clean the windshield off some. It's getting kind of messy. That's the one maintenance you have to do, is adding washer fluid. There's the Mississippi River, by the way, on both sides. And we're just crossing into Louisiana. So we're officially in Louisiana now. Down to 247 watt hours per mile, arriving with 9%, and feeling good. Speed should pick up over here. I believe the speed limit does change, but either way, we're gonna get moving. So, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you here in just a minute. Now we're in the middle of Louisiana, riding along straight as far as you can see, just wide open country, middle of nowhere, and we are right at an hour, which is fantastic. Showing arriving at 8%, still pushing unreal efficiency. This thing, wow, just over and over and over I've said it just is amazing. So 818 miles on the Shreveport trip, 4 miles a kilowatt hour, and this leg 4 miles a kilowatt hour. How you convert that's basically you divide by 1,000. So if you take your 4 miles a kilowatt hour divided into 1,000, it's 250 watt hours per mile, or you do it in reverse, it translates that to 4 miles a kilowatt hour. So easy math. 86 degrees out, 10:01 a.m. I think I'm going to hit Bossier City, I'm guessing 12:45. I haven't looked for a while, but I'm thinking I'll hit there around 12:45, 1 o'clock, which is totally fine. They do have charging in the parking garage at the Horseshoe, which is actually very nice. It's paid charging. They charge idle fees. It's fantastic because cars don't block them usually. So I'm just going to try to throw enough energy on to get there with, I don't know, maybe 20% or something, so I have a little bit of Sentry mode, but I'm not going to sit at this charger long. I've got to get rid of trash. I'll probably clean the windshield off, maybe a little, use the restroom, and then hit the road. I think it's about a 90-mile shot, something like that, 90 to 100 miles, and we'll be there. So be quick and easy today. Not a long day at all. Less than 500 miles, leaving early in the morning and getting there around lunchtime. That's an easy route. And it's nice when you can do it like this and I can get there refreshed, have my few meetings, have my dinner meeting, and then relax tomorrow. Glad it's the end of the week, and glad I'm able to do this. So, again, I thank you for following along. If you've watched the video this long, do me a favor, shoot me a comment. This is a long one, and I appreciate you following along with me. I do enjoy all the comments and the feedback as well. Let's take a look at our energy graph and see what it has to say. How are we doing? Driving is pretty well equal. I mean, it's really just speed is the only thing, and a little bit of wind that could affect it. So, yeah, pretty good. Okay, less than an hour now. We'll be there in just a minute to the charger. Pretty quick. Much better. The sky has cleared up. Sunny. I mean, obviously it's partly cloudy, but just beautiful day. 86 degrees. It's warmed up. Shows I'm going to arrive with 6%. We've definitely been ripping through some juice. I checked the EVgo app. Both chargers appear to be working. One does have a vehicle plugged into the left side right now, which is the side I generally need, but most of these are set up where I can even pull in. Been to this one quite a few times as well, so we'll get there, we'll get plugged in, and hopefully get some quick juice. Everything shows good, and I've got a little bit of a buffer when I get there, so It's nice to arrive with a low state of charge. I'll get a good fast charging session and get juiced up to go on to Bossier City and get a bunch of free electrons. 162 miles, 2 hours and 22 minutes so far. Another 44 minutes to go. So definitely save some time on this leg, and going to have it down to just over 3 hours, I believe, which is good. And looking forward to getting there. I can definitely use the restroom. I drank 2 large drinks, basically a water and an orange drink, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to this Pilot Flying J. So 10:59 a.m. ETA, and we're just cruising. And by the way, I know many of you may comment, "Don't ride the left lane." I got it. This car moves over automatically if a car comes up behind me, and I do use my turn signal and move out of the left lane a good bit, but there's not a car behind me for a good mile plus, so not a big deal. But we'll shift over once we pass this truck, and then the car will shift back automatically. So yeah, we're just clicking down here as we go. 839 miles on the total trip. Awesome. Making great time. Okay, we're still making progress. We're at 14% on the battery. 23 miles to go, 6% estimated state of charge upon arrival, and showing we're going to get there at 10:58 a.m. I'm looking forward to getting there. I need to stretch my legs. I need to use the restroom. I need to get a cold water out of my TL yard fridge in the back, and unfortunately these waters are warm. So I guess it'll do that at 88 degrees. 255 watt-hours per mile. Been driving for 190 miles, 2 hours and 43 minutes till I get there. It'll be about 3 hours and 5 minutes on this leg, so that's plenty long enough. And it is about time to stop and take a break and charge up. So fortunately, this will be my last charging stop of the day, and I'm hoping to get plugged in as soon as I get to that horseshoe, get the car unloaded, and go check in. I've got an early check-in arranged so I can make some conference calls and do some work. So I will be back with you shortly as we're getting off the exit. We'll take a look here at this exit. I think we cross over the highway on this one. Let's take a look. We do. But it's just right across the highway as normal for a Pilot Flying J, which is great. Great locations. 24/7 restrooms, food, snacks, drinks, all the amenities you need. And again, I'm going to be happy to get there. Exit 112. We just are passing 132 now, so let's go. Okay, so we are coming through Monroe, Louisiana. Only 6 miles from the exit. The exit's in West Monroe. We are down to 8% on the battery, showing arriving at 6%. Love the single digits. You're not trying if you're not below 10%. And lately, obviously, I haven't been trying. So this should give me a really good charge. Now, these EVgo chargers won't charge over 200-ish kilowatts, but it'll hold 200 kilowatts for a little while, so that's good. But it may show charge rate limited by station because they don't put out enough amperage for the Teslas to get the kind of charging speeds they're capable of getting. But that's okay. 200 kilowatts works. And they don't hold 250 kilowatts for very long anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Might save half a minute, honestly. But these Pilot Flying J chargers are free for me, right off the interstate, easy access, great amenities, and I like them. I actually really like what EVgo has done. Let's hope this one works well. As you saw yesterday, I had one with a bad handle. This station showing one charging plug on the left side of unit 591, the unit that has a 1 on the end. There's a unit that has a 0 on the end and the unit that has a 1. The unit that has a 1 on the end, the left handle is out. So I fortunately plug into the right side, so it doesn't really matter. I can plug into either of them. Right now, everything's showing available. Sometimes when it says offline, I've noticed it's just because the car's plugged in. So that may not be, an issue at all. We're crossing over the bridge here. And we are almost there. Looking forward to it. FSD has driven me the entire day, which helps a lot. Because frankly, I am fresh and refreshed and not completely exhausted from driving 883 miles in less than 24 hours. And if you haven't watched my videos, there's a video out there from Dallas-Fort Worth to Albany, Georgia, where I drove almost 900 miles in one day. It's absolutely doable in an electric car. You just have to know what you're doing. It does require a little bit of logistics planning. Now, you can just use Tesla's route planner. It's awesome, and it'll do what you need. I can just typically beat it and be a little more efficient than it can. But it'll get you there, and it gets you there fairly well. Okay, 2.9 miles. It's showing 5 minutes. And it's showing 5 minutes because I have to cross over the highway, and there might be a light and all that. Making good progress up through here. It's pretty busy. I guess it is 11 a.m. on a Friday, but I wouldn't have expected traffic to be quite this busy through Monroe, Louisiana. Turning into a beautiful day, by the way. It's 90 degrees out now, close to 11 a.m. Looks like we're going to hit there about 10:57, which is good. I'm going to take it out of hurry and put it in standard. Which typically, when you do that, it'll switch to the right lane pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and dial the speed back. And we're going to go ahead and tell it to switch to the right lane. We're at 7% on the battery, single digits. See a cop car up here lighting somebody up and pulling them over, it looks like. Oh, he just got off right there. He's doing his thing, getting ready to trap somebody. That is what you call a speed trap. He's sitting there behind the bridge, radaring people, and he'll catch somebody, I'm sure. Nice job, Tesla. How it navigated behind that F-150. Looked like a Shelby version with the stripes, but I think it's just a standard F-150 with some decal stripes. Looks pretty good. By the way, I'm a car enthusiast. You know, I've had a lot of high-end vehicles, a lot of sports cars, and high-performance vehicles, and I just really, really do love the Teslas, the way they drive, handle, instant response, whatever. So typically, I've always been a motorhead. You know, big motors, V8s, Hemis. Still have a Ram pickup with a Hemi in it that I drive regularly, and I really like vehicles. The Teslas have just been a game changer for me with the technology, with the efficiency, the way they drive, the way they handle. I love it. It's an evolution. I think anything else is going backwards at this point. But I think it'll be a long, long time, obviously, until we convert to battery electric. But anyway, let's see where our chargers are up here. At the Pilot Flying J in West Monroe. Louisiana. Okay, I just kicked that off. And I can't remember where the chargers are at this one. I think they're like back here. Let me just ride back and see. It shows them back there. I remember being confused by this one last time. Let me go around the other side of the building. I think they might be stuck over here in the corner. Yeah, they are. That's right. There used to be a drive-through here. And they've got the drive-through decommissioned. Got pylons sticking through it. And here are the chargers. I'm going to go ahead and pull into this one over here. Okay, and we arrived with 7% on the battery, which is perfect. Sentry mode's unavailable because we're at such a low state of charge. 212 miles, 253 watt hours per mile. So far on this overall Shreveport trip, 887 miles, 251 watt hours per mile. Got here at 10:58 a.m. Let's grab our CCS adapter and get plugged in. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Okay, payments authorized, connecting to vehicle. You heard it clicking. Checking cable safety. It'll match voltage here in just a second. Can hear the cooling fan dripping on this station. Sitting out in the heat. There we go, matching voltage. And we are charging. Let's see what kind of speeds we get. Should ramp up pretty quick. Keep going. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay. I'll check back on it in just a minute. I need to go use the facilities, but we're pulling up close to 200 kilowatts. We're at 194, 195, and slowly climbing as we march upwards towards a 10% state of charge. And we should peak out here in another minute or so at just over 200 kilowatts. So great job EVgo and great job Tesla. Look at that, 197. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I'm headed over to the charger here in West Monroe. Here is the entrance to the Pilot. And the charger's right over in the corner. It's got a Kia. I don't know what that is. Nero. Getting charged up. And let's see how we're doing. I've got to get a cold water out of my fridge, which I'll do that in just a minute. And I'll show you that. Okay, we've been here 12 minutes. We're already up to 50%. Remember, we pulled in with 7%. So 12 minutes from 7 to 50, which is 43% in 12 minutes. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. Still pulling 110 kilowatts, so that's good. Should be able to get out of here in just a minute. Let me go ahead and get my water swapped out, and I'll be right back with you. So I just opened the trunk up, and here's my TL Yard refrigerator. Let me set these waters right here. And let's go ahead and open this thing up. Sorry about that. And there we go. Man, these things are ice cold. Let's get a couple waters out. Look how cold they are. I love this thing. I have it set at 41 degrees. It's got a Bluetooth app. And again, it's from TLYARD. There's a discount code in the description of my videos if you're interested in one of these things. They're a game changer on a road trip. Saves me from buying cold drinks for sure. Anyway, let me get in the car and we'll check how we're doing, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, if we leave right now, we will get to the Horseshoe in Bossier City with 22% in an hour and 28 minutes, 12:43 p.m. So we're juiced up plenty. I'm going to check my email for a minute. We're still pulling 99 kilowatts of energy at 56%. Been here less than 20 minutes, exactly what we needed. Got a quick juice up. So I'll be here just a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to unplug and take off, and I'll check back with you. Okay, so 11:23 a.m. I'm back on the road. Been driving for 4 minutes. So I was there another, I don't know, couple of minutes while I finished out my email and messages, and now I got back on the road. It shows I'm going to arrive with 30%, which is plenty, to the Horseshoe in Bossier City. I'm only an hour and 25 minutes, 89 miles, no big deal. Riding along at highway speeds, and yeah, starting out the efficiency is not as good as normal because the battery's hot from DC fast charging. So you'll see it's at 393 watt hours per mile. That'll improve as we go, but all in all, this has been a great trip today. I'm going to hit there, you know, right around when I thought I'd get there, probably what, 12:30 to 1 o'clock. So we're right on track. It has gotten warm, and it is nice out. It's 91 degrees. It's hot, and beautiful day. A little windy through here, but this is the normal drive all the way over till I get to Bossier City. So not much to see between here and there, but I will keep you updated. We're almost 900 miles into the drive. Until I get there, it'll be about a total of 980 miles from yesterday at lunchtime till today at lunchtime. So in just over 24 hours, about 25 hours to go, 980 miles in an electric vehicle, and I stopped and stayed at a hotel overnight. Pretty good. I have done 900 in a day before, as I mentioned, in an electric vehicle. So we are rolling. We've got 61 in the battery and just riding along at highway speed. So FSD is doing its thing, and I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the drive. So this is that inefficient last leg. You'll see I'm at 307 watt hours per mile. It should improve some, but this stretch, the roads, I don't know if you can hear it, they're really rough. Rough surface, not good on the tires, not good for efficiency. Just this whole stretch has always been very inefficient in any vehicle I've driven, from a gas car to an electric car to a diesel, whatever. And I expect it to do the same today. Although I do think it will improve some. I am running at highway speeds anyway. Been driving for 17 minutes, 21 miles. We've got just over an hour, 71 miles. Getting off at Traffic Street, and the Horseshoe's right there. When I pull in, I'm going to pull into the valet area, get the car fairly well unloaded, and then go up into the parking garage and plug into the chargers. At least I believe that's the plan. So I'm going to think that through here as I drive. I don't know that I really have that much. I may just go in the garage and unload myself and go down to the front desk. So we'll see. I'll think that through over the next hour, but I'm almost there. And yeah, I'm glad I'm getting there with 29%. That means as soon as I plug in, I've got Sentry mode. When you plug in below 20%, your Sentry mode does not work. And then once it charges above it, it'll kick on. Just like back at that Pilot Flying J charger, that EVgo, when I plugged in, I had no Sentry mode, but as I was inside, walking around, stretching my legs, whatever, I looked, and as soon as it hit over 21%, it kicked on automatically, which is great. So that was a nice fast charge there. Again, free electrons, and glad to be topped up and headed over here, and I'm glad to be staying in one place for a couple of nights, and then I'm off to my home, one of my homes in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I'll be staying there for several days, which will be nice. I do have other road trips coming up. I believe it may be next week or the following week. I'm headed back to Tulsa. I think I'll probably take the Cybertruck on that trip. Need to put some miles on that one again. It's only got about 15,000 miles over the last 6 months, so I think. Anyway, it's due to get run. It's been sitting for a while I've been using this Model Y, and yeah, we're gonna ride along and enjoy this. That's for sure. So, 53% on the battery, 90 degrees out, 11:39 a.m. and we're gonna hit the Horseshoe right around 12:45. So, like I said, just about an hour. This has been a good trip. 911 miles, 252 watt-hours per mile overall. Okay, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. FSD's gotten really good to the point where construction zones, everything, I just let it handle it. I mean, it takes care of business. We'll see in a couple weeks when I take the Cybertruck, and I don't have the summer software update either for the Cybertruck or the Model Y Juniper, so I'm anxious to get that on the Cybertruck, especially to see if it corrects some of the FSD problems, like lane wandering over the left line when you're in the left lane. It doesn't realize how wide the Cybertruck is and kind of makes some mistakes, but it is highly tuned in this Model Y for sure. And hey, guess what? We're only 54 minutes out. We're riding through a very, very long construction zone, which seems to make no sense because the road looks perfectly fine over here. It looks like they've just got it coned off because they can, and they're eventually going to work on it, which is not unusual anymore, but kind of crazy to me. 270 watt-hours per mile. It's really improved greater than I thought it would. And we are riding along and relaxing. All is well. So I will be back with you here shortly. We're almost to the Horseshoe. Only 55 miles to go. So I took over driving, not because I have to, but because I want to. But man, this is narrow through here. Anyway, we are coming up on Shreveport, Bossier City. We're only a few miles away. We made great time coming across there. We're 6 minutes out, 3.5 miles to the exit. Let's take a look at the stats. 89 miles on this leg, 258 watt-hours per mile. Blows me away. It's not what I thought I would get. And I'm almost under 260 on the lifetime of the car. So till we pull in here, we'll be at 8,700 miles. This has been a good trip. Thanks for following along. By the way, I mentioned previously in the video, like, subscribe, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. And if you're looking to buy a Rivian, Tesla, or any parts and accessories, check the description of my video for all kinds of cool links and discount codes and all that stuff. That's in every video. It's been a good day. It's 94 degrees out, 12:34 p.m., and we're just fighting through this stupid construction that's been going on for a while. One of my viewers, thank you for the recommendation. You recommended that I check out Live, which is a new casino resort area. I do have dinner scheduled there tomorrow night. You had told me the restaurants are good. There's an Italian place I'm going to check out. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy it. I've got some things to take care of today for work, but tomorrow I will relax. Anyway, we're only a couple of miles out. I thought you may want to see this last little bit as we trudge along through traffic and through construction to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana. It says we'll arrive with 31%, although we are at 31%. Bunch of people have hit that guardrail. This is tight. And I know FSD would handle it no problem. I'd be fine with it driving. I just chose to drive here for a little bit. But I need exit 119B. I thought it said 198. It's 19B. It's hot here. You can hear the fans in the car ripping. The internal AC vent fans, I mean. So we're now 1.3 miles out. Exit 20A. B for Traffic Street. We've taken that exit many times over the years. You'll see a good view. I think Live is over there somewhere. That might be it right there. I believe it is. Oh, no, that's it. Live's the one over there, the white building with the red sign. Looks like a 12:40 p.m. arrival. 980 miles, 252 watt-hours per mile. I'm rounding up, of course. And up here is the Horseshoe and some of the other properties. Like, there's Live, there's Boomtown. Is the Traffic Street exit. This is the one I need. And we're going to turn right at the light. Sorry, at the stop sign, and then we'll turn left at the second light. Final stat update is below. You will ride with me to the parking garage unless something comes up, and this will be the end of the video. Again, thanks for following along. I appreciate it. Really good place here on the right. Right up there, Bojack's Craft House. Wonderful place up a street. And here is the Horseshoe, which we're just getting ready to pull into. $981 miles. Wow, in about 24 hours. Stayed at this Residence Inn dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And here is the front entrance to the Horseshoe, and we're going to zip right up to the parking garage. Let me get my sunglasses off so I can see. There we go. And I think we've got to go to the second floor here. Yep, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to zip right across right here. I think the chargers are right back here, and they are. Okay, we made it. Thanks for following along. Have a good day, everyone.